Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning, Dave. How you going?
Excellent. Delighted to
So,
be here.
it is.
It's like deja vu.
It's deja
We
vu. This is
were
Mark. This is
we
Mark two of getting Bill on the
getting
podcast.
Kill Bill. Are we going to be a little bit more fortunate this time, Anthony?
I think he
Is that
is.
our
He's. I can see
we
him. Can you see him?
we didn't
He's
we
here.
didn't get our wires crossed?
He's here. He's
Bill,
actually here.
the
Ready?
one and
Here we
only
go.
Bill Leahy. Bring him on. We got him.
Perfect.
Good
Hey,
morning,
Bill. How you
Bill.
going, mate?
How are y'all doing?
Oh,
Yeah, we're good.
fantastic.
It's very
Much
early in the
better.
morning for us.
Much better this time, Bill. Last time we were waiting and waiting. Why didn't you turn up? It was only 4 o'clock in the morning.
I know. It was funny when y'all had originally asked. I was like, I gotta ask them what time zone they're in, and then it slipped my mind. And then yeah, it ended up happening. I was dead asleep. So yeah, it's early for y'all. It's 6:30, right? A.m.
Yeah, it's not too
6:30
bad.
a.m.
It's
Yep,
the
yep,
start of
yep.
the day. It's better than
Yeah.
I'll
4 a.m. Right?
I'll just take
Yeah.
our little.
True.
I'll take I'll take our sponsor overlay off. But yeah, thank you so much, Bill, for coming on the show. David Johnson's my name.
No, nice to meet you.
We're
Yeah.
we're down here in the Southern Hemisphere in Australia,
Yeah.
in Brisbane. Um, you ever been down to this part of the world?
I have not actually. The only place I've been out of the country is Germany. I went to Nuremberg in it was like February or something of this year with Adidas at actually HQ for Adidas. We spent a lot of the athletes spent about a week there. So that's the only place I've been out of the country as far as USA.
Right. Wow. Um, and so Adidas is your sponsor,
Yeah, apparel sponsor. Hmm.
apparel sponsor. Okay, fantastic. Well, we Anthony and I are CrossFit Tragics, and we take it in turns to get guests on the show.
Yeah, no, it's been
Um,
great.
so he's done fantastic getting a CrossFit Games athlete on the show. We've been going for about how long has it been? I think about 6 months.
Yeah, about that.
6 months podcast.
This is our 15A episode because we did have a whole Bill Leahy episode and we did talk about you a lot, Bill, and we actually got some good views as well, which was surprising because you weren't even on there.
I
So
know, I wasn't
Yeah.
even
um,
here.
so hopefully this one's gonna like just go through the stratosphere. So yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
as Dave said, yes, we're CrossFit Tragics. And looking at people like you and watching what you guys do is just gives us more inspiration to try and get better. Obviously we're never going to catch you, but yes, we continue to see the amazing things that you guys do, and the sport like yeah, just seems to get better and better in terms of the
Yeah, I
capacity.
think it's
Like
just I think it's just a testimony to CrossFit and the methodology, and like it's magical when done right. I really think it is.
absolutely. I mean, I was talking to Luc De Jong the other day, and he'd posted a workout. And I just thought to and we were doing, it was farmers carry. And I joked with him and I said to him, I said, it's ridiculous. I used to be I just got to RX weight and I was like really happy to do 24 kilos. And now it's up again. They've
Yeah,
upped
that's
it
how it
again. I'm like,
goes.
so yeah, so CrossFit just keeps getting better and better. And I guess we all do keep getting better
Yeah.
and better as well.
Um, I was talking to Andrew Hiller a few weeks ago, and we were just talking about the games and stuff like that, and we were talking about how how the top 10 athletes at the CrossFit Games this year, I think were the best 10 by a mile. Like it hasn't even been close. I think the number 1 through 10th place could have all won the CrossFit Games at any point
Mm,
this year and at any point in years to pass. And so, like the field, it just shows that the sport's getting older. People are doing it for longer. They're starting earlier. Our training is becoming smarter, and it's just like anything; it's evolving. So, yeah, I mean, the things that athletes are able to do today is incredible, and the things that they'll be able to do in 10 years from now and 20 years from now is just going to be mind blowing. But like we talked about originally, I think it is a testimony to the magic of CrossFit and the methodology.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess that's a great segue into like, how did you get involved in CrossFit? Because
Mhm.
it seems to
Well,
be
Anthony,
like,
should we play our Bill promo
oh, for
just for
sure.
the?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I jumped the
Well,
gun. Sorry about that.
I don't know if you saw our promo, Bill, but each week when we have a guest on, we play a little promo for them, and this is the promo that we put up for yourself. I'll just add this.
It's an important thing. Like, before this entire gym exists.
What's that?
That sign up there. It's probably the most important.
When did you write that?
I wrote it down like 2 years ago, maybe. That's the reason I started CrossFit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Just a little overview of your last year, I suppose.
Yeah.
Let's, as Anthony was saying, yeah, what makes Bill Leahy the fourth tick? And I was particularly keen to sort of talk to you about what you wrote on the chalkboard there about being the fittest on the planet. Like, what makes a young fellow like yourself have that kind of motivation? You know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good question that goes really deep, honestly, beyond my CrossFit years. A lot of people have asked me this question before, and the best way that I could put it is like not being corny or anything like that. Like, it was something that was in me since I was 5 years old that I just wanted to be the best in the world. It was I did gymnastics until I was about 7. I started when I was like 2. And then around like 5 to 6 years old, I started going like 5 days a week and competing and all that sort of thing. And at like 7, we had some family stuff going on, and my dad like sat me down. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and he's like, "Hey, we can't continue gymnastics anymore. Like, it just logistically wasn't going to work out and everything and all that." And I didn't even know that I said this to him because I didn't remember it. But he's like, "Yeah, when you sat there, you're like, I told him, Dad, you crushed my dreams. I wanted to be the best gymnast in the world. I wanted to be an Olympian." And I was like, what? When he first told me that when I got older, he's like, "Yeah, I mean, as a father, I felt terrible." And I was like, dang, I didn't mean to say that. But I was like, it was in me since I was 5 years old that it was like whatever I did, I wanted to be the best. And after gymnastics, I played sports like ball sports, tried them out, fell in love with basketball, and then started pushing basketball really hard with the same idea, same mindset. Like, I wanted to go to the NBA kind of thing. Then obviously reality hits. Like, I'm not 6'6", like all that sort of stuff. So it was like I only could take basketball to so far, like, which was playing college basketball. And I knew that like I couldn't make the professional basketball. And my aunt, who owns an affiliate, which is where I coach at right now, and the affiliate I've gone to my whole life, I kind of knew of CrossFit, and she had talked about it at family parties and whatnot. And my senior year of basketball was done, and I was kind of at the choice of like, I'm going to go play college basketball. But like in the back of my head, I always had this like, I want to try CrossFit. I want to do this thing. And then COVID happened. So this was 2020 March, and everything shut down. Like, we weren't going to school. I wasn't like all of that. So I was just at the house, and she's like, "Hey, we have this thing called Murph in May. You should train a little bit for it and do it." And like at that point, I was like, watching all the documentaries, like drinking the Kool-Aid sort of thing. And I was like, I can be the best in the world at this, or at least I have a shot at it. I can make the NBA of CrossFit, which is the games. And I was like, I can do that. Like, I was like, God made me in the way that I am, and I fit the best in that mold. So I was like, this is what I want to do. And I remember talking to my dad about it, and I had a treadmill in my room because like I would run for basketball. And so he was running on the treadmill, and I was sitting there during COVID, and he's like, why do you want to do CrossFit? And I was like, Dad, I mean, I only want to do it because I want to be the fittest person in the world. Like, I was like, that's why I want to do it. And he's like, okay, then like we're gonna put everything on hold because I mean, put college on hold, and we're gonna full send this, and I'll be there behind you for this entire journey. And so that was like the starting point. Like, I really hadn't even been in a box, done classes. Like, I mean, I could have had a messed up shoulder for all I knew, and I couldn't snatch or something. Like, and I was like, so, but I was like, I was going for it, and that was just kind of how it all evolved in a long-winded answer of that was how I started, and then yeah, I just dove headfirst into it, trying to be the best. Because honestly, I think it's just the way God made me. Like anything I
So,
do, I just want
so
to win and be better.
you're always competitive by nature as a young fellow,
Hmm.
as a kid. Um, so and gymnastics kind of gave you that ethos to train. What you
Yeah.
said, 5 days a week gymnastics? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I'm glad my mom brought me because I mean, I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, but yeah, I was going like 5 times a week, and there was like a
Wow.
group of us in the area that we lived at. There was probably like 6 or 7 guys, and we were all training together. Actually, one of them ended up going to Stanford for gymnastics. It was actually like him and I who would always battle out by who was better, but he went to Stanford for gymnastics and is like trying to go to the Olympics now. Obviously, we went different career paths, but yeah, we were pretty serious about it back then. There's
Yeah.
my wife always jokes me about it, but there's like absolutely nothing I can do unless I'm totally obsessed with it. Like if I start doing anything, I'm either gonna put all my chips and cards into it, or like I'm not gonna touch it at all because I hate losing, knowing that I didn't try my absolute best or work as hard as I possibly could.
Yes. And
But
where did you
does
get
that
that
mean
from?
yeah.
Wait,
Did you get that from your parents? Like that athlete's brain, you know, does
I
that
think
come from family?
it
Your
run yeah,
parents were sort of competitive
kind of
sportsmen?
like I would say like obsession towards things runs in my family. Like I mean,
Yeah,
it's not just CrossFit, but like different parts, aunts, uncles, things like that. We've all had our things where it's like my aunt, she does CrossFit all the time, sort of thing. And then obviously it's been in different facets, but like an obsessive gene definitely runs in my family. That is a for sure thing.
yeah. Sorry, Anthony, you're going to ask.
Oh, it's just I've actually forgotten what I was going to say, Dave. So I'll let you continue.
um, and what about other things? What about like say as you're going through high school and you're doing maths or English or science, did you also did that parlay over into academics as well? Were you
Yeah.
competitive in that aspect too?
Yeah, I actually was. I didn't make a B my entire high school, like from ninth
Really?
to 12th grade. Yeah, I didn't make a single B in any class I did. Like I didn't miss a single homework assignment. Like I was a kid who did all of the homework as it was supposed to be. Like I never used Spark Notes. Like I read the book. But yeah, it was like
Wow.
same thing. So yeah, that did carry over. Thankfully, it carried over in my academics. So
So how
that
did
was
your
a good thing.
parents like push you down an academic path to turn you into a lawyer or a dentist or a doctor? You know, that's
Yeah, I know. Thankfully, they were just supportive of whatever I wanted to do. So I think if I would have been like, Dad, I want to go to school and then go to law school after and become a lawyer, become yeah, a doctor, whatever, I think they would have just been behind it. It was a motto that I always had growing up. It was like whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter what it is, you need to work hard at it. And so
yeah.
like if I wanted to go play the piano, they would have got me piano lessons. Like I would have dove in and become the best pianist I could have been. If I
Wow.
wanted to go play basketball, it would have been the same thing. But it was always like you need to do something and you need to work hard at it. Doesn't matter what it is. So like yeah, it could have been the academic route. It could have been I mean I was gifted physically. Like God gave me gifts, so like it ended up being the physical route of sports. But yeah, it was anything. But that was something that we always did. And I think it was installed. I mean, like I was doing gymnastics and I was doing it to the best of my ability. Like I was young doing it 5 days a week
Mhm.
and training. Like well, so it was just kind of something that was instilled in me. And like I said, I think it was anything, but I do believe that my makeup, my mentality, and all really does fit CrossFit.
Yeah. Well,
So
you should.
what's your height? What's your height, Bill? Because I know
About
you play basketball, and I'm
yeah,
really keen to understand how to. Because I don't think you're that tall.
yeah,
How do
no,
you how do you actually slam a ball?
I know
I,
it's
I
funny. Yeah, so right now I'd say without a pair of shoes on, if I'm being brutally honest, I'm probably about 5'10" and a half. When I listed myself as 6 feet playing basketball, but I'm somewhere around 5'10", 5'10" and a half without a pair of shoes on. But I dunked a basketball when I was 14 in eighth grade, and I think I was like around 5'7", 8 at that point. I mean, I probably weighed like 120 pounds, so I definitely was a little bit lighter. But yeah, no, being athletic, like running and jumping, was always something that I could do. like really, really good.
Because there's not many people that are in that kind of height that can actually slam a ball. Like
Yeah, no.
my son absolutely loves basketball, and I've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
saying like, and he, and he wants to slam the ball, and he's like 20 now, but he's not
Yeah.
gifted by height at all. And I just said, have a look at this guy. He's doing it. He's not 6 foot. There
I
is
know.
hope.
Yeah. Yeah, there was
So
hope. That's funny. That so many people told me that growing up. And it was a funny thing. Yeah. My parents would always get a lot of questions. It's just like, hey, what did you do for him when he was younger? How can he jump so high? And sort of things like that. And I was like, I just had God gave me the abilities to jump high and run fast. Like it's I mean I worked at it, but no. There's a certain part that has to be a gift. But yeah, I was definitely gifted to do that. And that led me to be really good at basketball. For sure.
Have you
wow.
done those standing jump? You know, sometimes we do in part A of a CrossFit workout those plyo box jumps, and you just keep adding
Yeah.
a
So
barbell plates. How high
uh-huh.
can you jump on that?
So there's a video, and this is something like I haven't really ever touched in my CrossFit training because it's like I don't have to work on that at all. But in ninth grade, I like one step jumped, so like taking a step into it. I think a 64-inch box, and like obviously you're raising your feet up, but 5'4", and I was like 5'7" at the time, so it was pretty close to like my height. But I think when we measured our vertical like junior year of high school, and I think I jumped 40 inches my
Wow.
junior year of high school, and like at that time I was like 5'10" or something like that. I mean I could like windmill and all, so. I had to be able to jump like a little bit, but yeah, I measured 40 inches my junior year of high school, and that was like I never measured it at any other point. Then after that, there's sometimes I feel like maybe I jumped higher than that, but yeah, I hit the 40 mark junior year.
40, so that's like your 30-inch box end on, and then adding what,
Got
three,
5 plates. It's about
four,
5
Yeah,
plates, isn't
and
it?
then being like straight legged at that point. Yeah, so not bending your knees.
Oh,
Yeah,
straight legged.
yeah, because I mean, if you're measuring vertical, they'll do your standing reach, what you touched, and then the difference.
wow,
Yeah,
right,
okay. That's phenomenal.
cool.
So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
so when you said you stepped into the CrossFit gym knowing that you wanted to be the fittest person on earth before you'd even looked at CrossFit, like
Mhm.
what's that journey been like? Because I hear I think you're a coach, aren't you? Like in the
Yeah, I
actual
am.
affiliate that you're a part of?
I got my L1 about 3 months into CrossFit, and then my L2 about a year after that. So I mean, I like I said, dove headfirst into it. Like I remember, yeah, I was about 3 months at my L1 because I remember them talking about, is there anybody here less than 6 months? And I was like the only person to raise my hand. But yeah, I got my L1 then. I started coaching about 2 months after I got my L1, so 6-ish months into CrossFit. I started coaching at that affiliate that's like right by my house right now that my aunt owns. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, I just like dove into it and I was coaching and I've been coaching ever since. Like I actually coached some morning classes this morning.
Oh wow! So you're still involved in the affiliate and
hmm
go along. That's awesome. And so how big's the affiliate?
I want to say we have probably somewhere in the low hundreds on members. Honestly, I have no idea if that's big or small.
Yeah.
Is
You're
it
changing 100 people's lives, right?
is it a
Yeah,
big
true.
what's the affiliate name? Oh, let's bring it up on the website.
Uh, CrossFit Mandeville. I can spell it for you.
Mandb.
DE.
Yep, CrossFit Mandible photographs. I'll see if I can bring it up. But uh, and is it a large space, or is it a small sort of?
Maybe like 3 to 4 thousand square feet or something like that is the size of the building. But that's a total guess on my part. It's like I would say maybe like a middle size affiliate. It's not on the
Uh-huh.
smaller side, but it's not like there's definitely larger affiliates than that.
Yeah, and this is in Louis. Where are you?
Yeah,
Louisiana.
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 Yeah, which is
Okay,
like very southern part of the United States.
right. And that's your hometown. You've been there forever,
Yeah,
have you? Or,
whole life. Yeah, whole life.
wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Is your aunt in these photos, or
Not
you
in
know
that.
all
But the
this
guy,
guys?
okay, you see the guy in the red shirt, the one to
This
the
guy
right
here.
of him. Yeah, to the right of him. He
Mm-hmm.
is. I don't know. Other side.
Oh, this one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is married to my cousin. I don't know what that would
Okay.
make him, but yeah, my cousin is married to him. So there's definitely
Okay.
family in the box too.
Okay. It looks
So
like
how good's
big.
your aunt, Bill? How good's your aunt? Is she going to the games as well, or?
No, she's not going to the games. I think she's shooting for quarterfinals again this year. She's happy they came back actually.
Yeah.
Oh, they're bringing the quarterfinals back. Oh, I hadn't seen
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
That's
Top
good. That's good
25,
for you,
top
Dave.
25%. Well,
yeah.
I've made it to the semifinals twice, Bill, but and quarterfinals, numerous times before that. But
That's pretty good.
I
Yeah.
just I didn't. I thought the quarterfinals should have been slightly, the cutoff a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think 25 is definitely a big. I liked it when it was 10%.
Yeah, I mean, look, it makes sense.
25%, 25%
Yeah,
for the
Anthony,
quarters.
you should be on the cards of getting to the quarterfinals,
Oh,
mate.
that's a big call, Dave. It's a big call.
With your Echo Bike capacity, Anthony's like our gym Echo Bike king.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like
there you go.
he's like the Dallin Pepper of Dallin Pepper and Hopper of
I know they always have that one guy who's just really, really good at the fan bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I like it though.
What's your 50-calorie best time, Bill? What's your 50? Anthony will tell you his.
I want to say I've done 50 calories in like 41 seconds, something like that. I think.
That's
Wow.
insane. Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think it might be like 48. Now that's it. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. I know it's in the 40s though. I'm pretty sure it's in
Yeah.
the 40s, yeah. But I don't. That was something a one and done for sure. I'm never doing
Yeah,
that.
it's a crazy workout. Like
Yeah, I was like
it's like
uncomfortable.
your body doesn't realize you've done it at the end, and then all of a sudden it
Yeah, and then all of a
realizes it.
sudden for like 30 minutes, you're just like like feeling like you're gonna throw up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Yep.
it's just one of like most workouts you can do. You feel tired, you do a bit of a fall on the ground, look at the ceiling for about 30 seconds, and then you get up. But
Yeah.
it's just painful. It's just painful. And
Yeah. It's like the lactate that builds up is just like insurmountable, and it's like you can't get comfortable. Your legs are just in excruciating pain for like 15 minutes. It's terrible. I mean, honestly, any bike sprint workout, you get that.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I think the stronger you are, the more muscle you have, that probably hurts more.
Yeah, and
than
honestly,
someone
just
who,
the faster you can go too. That's what I always tell people. I'm like, I don't know how much easier CrossFit gets the fitter you get. I'm like, I just have less of a reason now that I have to rest, and it's just like it's 30 toes a bar. Like I don't get the luxury of breaking it 3 times.
that's it.
I really don't know how much. Everybody's like, oh, it's just so much easier. I'm like, it's really
Yeah,
not.
Not if you're doing
it's
it
like
properly, I don't think it is.
Yeah,
when rookie members join up and they go, oh, I can't wait till I get better at CrossFit because it won't hurt as much. No,
yeah.
it
I'm
hurts
like,
more.
all you can do is just go faster, do more in a row. Like it doesn't get any better. Trust me.
Yeah. So you said even before you'd started CrossFit, you wanted to do extremely well at it. You wanted to be the best. That means you must have watched those YouTube videos, and it was legitimate to you in your mind that doing CrossFit would legitimately crown the fittest on earth. Is that
Yeah, I
because a
mean,
lot of people don't believe that
mhm.
that CrossFit is entitled to the crown of the fittest on earth. They'll go,
I mean, at that time, I was kind of naive with it all, so I didn't have the most of educated answers to your question. But now, I mean, I've done it enough and been around it enough that I have absolutely no doubt it crowns the fittest person on earth. Like when you're talking about a well-rounded test of fitness that tests weightlifting, gymnastics, running, monostructural work, like all of it, there's nobody who's going to touch a CrossFitter. We train too much. It's just, and granted, there'll be people who are better in maybe like two things of that, but like nobody's gonna touch a CrossFitter. And honestly, it comes more from the skill set, I think, because everyone who may have the skill set that us CrossFitters have, which is few, they can't touch us when it comes to weightlifting or anything like that. So
yeah,
it's just, no, I totally think I don't think anything comes close to that.
it's the hopper, like
Mhm.
as Greg Glassman used to say,
Yeah,
pulling any 5
any
workouts or
workouts, yeah.
movements out of a hopper, rep schemes, time domains. The CrossFitter will
Mhm.
always do it better. And there are the people that we'll call them the haters, but I think it means that they just don't understand. They
Yeah,
don't
you know what's funny
understand the
about that?
methodology.
I talk to like my friends around here, and I'm like, you know what's funny is I said once you start, because it's like on the outside in, CrossFit is the crazy thing. Like you see everybody, they're like, "What are you doing? Butterfly pull-ups, and you're falling on your hands, and you're trying to do a snatch." And I was like, once you actually do CrossFit, then you realize how crazy the entire other fitness industry is. Because like once I started doing CrossFit, and then I went in a Globo gym, and I see some dude doing like rack pulls at 495, and I'm like, and he's moving this much, and then you look right over to you, and the guy is squatting and like just barely breaking his hips, and he has 405 on the bar, and you're like, what? And then you look over here, and dude's doing bench press, and it's like just like tapping his chest, moving this far, and you're like, okay,
Yes,
now that I understand what like functionality is, moving through full range of motion, like all that, I'm like, okay, wow, the entire world, y'all are the crazy ones. Like it's not the
that's
CrossFitters. I was
true.
like, yeah, and it's crazy,
Yeah,
but it's like you kind of wake up to it, and you're like, dang, it's really the other way around.
that's it. That's actually a really interesting perspective.
Mm.
I've never looked at it from that point of view where yeah, the haters,
Yeah.
when you actually look at what they're advocating for, how odd it is to be able to bench press, 300 kilograms, but not need help to get off the bench. You
Exactly.
need
Yeah,
to,
yeah, exactly. And it's like out of breath going back to your car. And it's like
yeah.
CrossFit teaches functionality. Like I was like, we teach people to squat through full range of motion anatomically how you can. Like you're gonna farmer's carry, which is the same thing as carrying groceries, carry sandbags, same thing as carry kids. Like just understand full functionality. Like you look at like middle-aged people at gyms to older people, like they're superhumans compared to the regular
Mm,
50-year-old you just pull off the streets. Like when you have ladies who are
mm,
55 years old and they're just doing strict pull-ups, like
mm,
that's a superhuman compared to just a normal 55-year-old you would pull up the streets. So yeah, I mean it's
yes.
crazy, but like we said, like once you do it, then you realize how crazy the actual world is and like everything else is.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about it in a couple of weeks' time with another guest, but there was a doctor of biomechanics or something like that that was saying, why would you do workouts like Isabel or Grace and and do 30 snatches or 30 clean and jerks for time when Olympic weightlifting is perfection in one rep, you know?
Yeah.
And you say, why would you do 30 at a time? That would be like going to the golf course and trying to swing your driver, your golf club 30 times really quickly, you know.
hmm
But
No,
that's sort
that's
of
an interesting point of view, but I think that's when it comes into being constantly varied. And then it's like their window of fitness is one rep at perfection. So if we tell them
mm,
run 400 meters, they all of a sudden just can't do that one rep. If we tell them do
mm,
5 reps in a row, it's like you can't do that. And I think that just goes to what CrossFit is. And like it obviously like you have to perform everything correctly within your stimulus. Like ego falls into play with a lot of people. So there's definitely factors that can vary it all. But I think when performed correctly, like there is absolutely nothing better than that. And then it's just like it gets you ready for anything you want to do in life. Like I feel like that right now. I'm like, if I were to go like do a triathlon, if I were to go to a weightlifting meet, like if I'm gonna go run a marathon, like if I'm gonna go
mm,
into a gymnast gym, we're gonna go play on the rings and bar and do some handstand stuff. Like I can touch all facets of y'all's modalities at to a level. Like you go grab the weightlifter and like, hey, dude, we're gonna go run a 5K. Like he ain't gonna make it a half mile. So it's
mm,
like,
mm,
and it's just the testimony to CrossFit. Like it just prepares you for any and everything, and that's why I really,
mm,
really like it.
mm. It's wonderful that you still enjoy, you love training. You love you still love the sport. You love the training. Um,
Oh
you would
yeah,
have to, wouldn't you? The, does there come a point where, as a professional athlete, you think, "Oh my God, I've got to go to the gym again, and it's going to hurt. I've got 3 hours of different pieces to do.
yeah.
This is
I
not
think
enjoyable."
I definitely think there becomes a point like when you do something to the nth degree, so like the best in the world, you're gonna have to have discipline. You're gonna have to be able to do things when you don't want to. Like it's just the way and the nature of it is. Especially the longer something exists and the longer CrossFit goes on. Like you're not gonna walk in the gym and be happy every time. You're not gonna want to sit on this rower for the third time this week and row 5 1Ks and hurt really bad and nobody even knows you did it. Like you're not going to want to do it when you're doing it at the degree of being the best in the world. That is part of it, but I do believe that you have to have some sort of sustainability to it. So like for example, my lunch sessions, like normal middle session of the day, is normally like 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and I have a home gym at my house. That's like a pretty big building. I think it's 1,200 square feet, and I have probably like anywhere from 5 to 12 people that show up here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and we all work out together at lunch. So it's like that's the like best part of the day. Like at no point am I walking in there and being like, oh, I don't want to be here, because then there's like 3, 4, 5, 6 other people who are walking in, and like we're all just getting it together, and then you grow as relationships, make fun of people, have jokes, all that, and it makes it sustainable. So it's like one training session a day, 5 days a week. Like I don't even have to think about, I don't care what I write up, what I do, like I'm gonna have 5 other people doing the same thing next to me. So like it makes it sustainable. But then there's obviously times where it's like you got to wake up early by yourself, and I'm going to go run, and I'm going to be probably thrown up on the side of the road, and it's 6:30 in the morning, and it's like, yeah, those are the kind of things you have to do to be the best in the world. So yeah, I agree, sustainability needs to be a thing, but there also is times where you're just not going to want to do it when
Yeah.
you do it to the degree we do.
So does that mean, do you think, and we'll talk about it more about your squad, I suppose, your training team, and we know that at the moment you don't have a formal coach, but it's almost like those mates of yours, those bros that come over to your place, that is your team, that is your training squad.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, I'm grateful they do everything that I have to do. So it's like they're literally all the training that I do, they do. So it's like it's like I had to clean a day front squat, and we had a workout that we had to do toes bar, push work, and echo bike, and like they did it, and they do it every day. So yeah, they have a huge part in it. They have a huge part in where I am today, and then it's fun for them, fun for me. Like we all enjoy it. We like each other. We mess around. There's jokes, and so it's like that's probably all of theirs, including my best part of the day.
Yeah.
Do you do the programming for that, Bill?
I do, because I write my own programming. So that's like my lunch training session, and thankfully I just get like 5 to 8 dudes who come crank it out with me.
Where did you learn to do that? Because you're obviously a young guy. The fact that you've gone so far already in the CrossFit space and you don't have a coach, like where have you learned that? You can hear it in your voice how much passion you've got, and I'd love to be coached by you just listening to you. So I'm sure you've got those skills, but where have you learned those? Like where has that come from?
It's a funny question that I definitely do get asked a lot. Because honestly, thinking, I guess off the top of my head, I might have been the only games athlete there that didn't have like an official programmer / coach. But like I said, asked this question a lot, and I think just trial and error. Like it was kind of something that like I became a student in the game. I watched a lot, I followed a lot, and like I just tried a lot, and it's evolved over time. I definitely say I'm at a point now where I know what I'm doing. Like I have a pretty good like grasp of everything, what I need to get better at, how I get better at it, all of that. But yeah, no, from the beginning, I really don't know. I just did it. Like literally the first day I started CrossFit, if I was doing the class workout, I did that. But if I did anything extra, like it was written up by me, as far as like if I was weightlifting, doing gymnastics, like anything like that. And there's some stupidity in it for sure. And like there's times where I needed to learn and whatever, and like trial and error. But it's definitely evolved to become something really good. But it was kind of just a knack and something I had from the beginning.
Wow, that's really impressive. And what
Do
about
you,
sorry, Dave, you go.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, do you program at the box at Mandalay? Do you
No, I actually
do the
don't. They
programming?
follow .com actually.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of something that I started doing from the first day, and it's evolved over time. But I just always looked at it and like, unless I had a coach who was like watching me every day, so seeing like how I moved, how I did that workout, knowing how I felt, it was just like as long as you're honest with yourself, I was gonna get the most out of it. Now,
Yep.
you're always going to be biased towards certain things. It's a question I ask a lot of people. I'm like, hey, what's your favorite thing in CrossFit? And Anthony might be like, my favorite thing's a bike. Well, it's like, okay, that's also the thing he's the best at. And so it's like that's those normally correlate. And it's like, what's your least favorite thing? And it'd be like X, Y, Z. And it's like, okay, those are probably your 3 weaknesses. So it's like staying honest in that regard and not doing the things that you like over the things that you should is definitely something that's tough when you program for yourself individually. But it's like I just always looked at it as long like I could get the most out of myself. So it's just like I wake up and I'm like, dude, my legs are fried. Like I'm not doing these squats. I can roll it over tomorrow, make adjustments, still get them in. But if you're given a program or whatever, you might just be like, I skipped the squats on Tuesday for this week, and this kind of is what it is. Or if
Yeah,
you're just like, that wasn't enough. I call like audibles a lot too, where I'm like, hey guys, we have like one more round. Or I'm like, I'm cutting it at 3 rounds. That was what we intended to get out of this piece, and that's like what it was. And it is a lot of power to hold, and you do have to be very honest with yourself because you have to learn. And I think it helps me because I really am in tune with my body, but knowing the points when it's like you're pushing and it's pain, but it's good pain, and you're pushing and you're overtrained or anything like that, you definitely have to be very in tune with your body. And like I said, it's something that I've learned over time. And I've had people who've helped me, like Brandon Luckett. I don't know if y'all know who that is. He's been a huge help. So there's definitely been people along the way that I've gotten advice for and talked to and all that. So
Yeah.
it's not
Well,
totally
maybe
myself.
the coach is there to slow you down a little bit. Like I remember Matt Fraser saying when he was coaching Mal O'Brien,
Hmm.
that his biggest job was to tell her that she didn't need to do those extras or those accessories because she was just like a maniac and just wouldn't
Yeah,
stop
doing too
training,
much.
doing too
Yeah.
much. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's actually a coach that I've been talking to a little bit through this off season. I don't think I can give names yet, but so I am getting outside help to a degree, but mainly I've been writing my stuff. It's more of like we conversed together and spoke, and I gave him like my skeletal outline of like what I want to do, and then he gave me like opinions and helped it out. So he's definitely more for some of the things I'm doing, and honestly, I think I'm having the best training that I've ever had right now with help of him. But like I said, I don't know if he wants to drop names yet.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
exciting. We've heard it's first for our podcast. We've got that, Dave.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill
So
Leahy.
what about from a motivation point of view, Bill? Like in terms of like obviously a coach is not just there to look at your movement and program, but they're there from a motivation piece. Where does that come from for you?
Yeah, I think that comes from my training partners. I think it comes from the guys who are like willing to sit on the echo bike right next to me and do these like echo bike interval repeats or whatever. It's like just as much motivation as I think somebody telling me to do it and watching me. It's like when I'm out there on the street, like suffering because 100 degrees and we're doing the mile loop at the end of a workout, and like I'm running by and giving some dude a high five as I'm running the other way and he's running for his 800, and like they're doing the same thing I'm doing. It's like I'm not gonna quit. Like I'm not gonna be soft. Like whatever. And I think that's really good motivation because you have somebody right next to you doing it, which I think also talks to the methodology of CrossFit and why it's so special having classes that are coach led and everyone gets to do the same thing. Everyone gets to suffer together. I think that's like a special thing in CrossFit, but it definitely helps with motivation and getting it done.
Mm. So those guys that what do they do? Are they
Yeah.
professional CrossFit Games athletes as well, or like
No.
how do they get in the middle of the day to just come and train with you?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We have a bunch of people who like either have flexible jobs. Like my best friend actually, his like lunch hour, he comes. So what we'll do is like the first hour of training, I'll normally have like two pre pieces from the workout. Like it could be weightlifting, gymnastics, anything like that. We'll do those with a group of guys. And then when the 12 o'clock hits, he shows up and he jumps in for the workout. So like he takes his lunch hour every day, drives over here, does the workout, drives back to work, and then he'll like eat lunch at his desk. So like there's different things like that. There's a few people who have like remote jobs. So they're just kind of on the phones. Every once in a while they might drop out of a workout or something like that because they got to go answer a phone call. And then there's some people who like have early morning shifts of work. There's a guy who works from like 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. So he works like early in the day, so he'll be able to catch lunch. So it's just kind of special circumstances, which is kind of crazy because yeah, most people do have 9 to 5s and like can't just show up in the middle of the day to work out.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about your wife? Have you? Because I hear you just recently got married.
I did. Yeah, we
Is
got
she
married
into
in April.
CrossFit?
She does it. I mean, not nearly the degree that I do it. It's more of she does it to be healthy kind of thing. But she's like, I don't really want to hurt too bad. I don't see any reason for me to get my ring muscle ups. Like I'm okay, kind of thing. But she does do it, and she's very supportive in everything I do because I spend a lot of time doing it, and I need a lot of help with it as far as just like eating and everything outside of it. So she's very helpful when it comes to that.
And do you do anything else besides be a professional CrossFit athlete? Is there time for anything else?
Yeah, outside of just training, I will coach at my affiliate. I have like a program that I sell online. So like I write some programming for some people. So like I'll do that. But mainly out of those two things and training, that takes up the majority of my time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, what is it? Let's talk about that. So, to be a professional CrossFit athlete, it is a full-time job.
Mhm.
How difficult is that um, financially for
Oh, I
you
think it's
guys?
really hard. It's a super tough thing, and honestly, the bar keeps getting raised. So like the barrier for entry to make it to the games, to be successful, to get sponsors, keeps getting harder and harder because the sport keeps existing for longer. People are doing it more. They're training smarter and all that. So like, it's a hard thing to enter into because it's like you have to have the 6 hours a day to train
Hmm.
when you're not good, like when you're not
Hmm.
at the games level, because it's like you have to get there at some point, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So it's one of those things that it's a tough thing to get into because before you become good, before you get sponsors, before you make money, like that sort of stuff, and people make a whole lot more money than me. But before all that stuff happens, you have to still train as much as you do right now without all the accolades, awards, money, that sort of stuff. And so like I lived with my parents for a little bit. I moved in with my best friend, actually lived with him. So just like kept costs and of all of that just low so I could have as much
Hmm.
free time as possible to train. So
Yeah.
it like sacrifices were made for sure to live that life.
And even when you do say you're a top 10 games athlete, um, I can't imagine. I can't imagine how, doing an Instagram post every second day or something like that and tagging a shoe brand or a supplement brand is going to give you the equivalent of what you could get working a working a day job full time.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
you must
I
it
totally
must
agree with
be
you.
it must be t-shirts and pants and socks and shoes, which doesn't you can't take that down to the grocery store and buy your slab of ribeye with a pair of Adidas shoes.
Yeah, true. But I mean, I do definitely agree with that. That's why, unless you're like really good and have super big sponsors, which there's even some people who are like way up there on the leaderboard and they probably don't make as much money as they should deserve. But it's a tough thing. That's why like I write programming for people, so that's like another facet for money. You coach and my affiliate, so like you'll make money doing that too. Like you have to have other things unless you're Jason Hopper and you just got a $300,000 check kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And even that check should be more. Like the prize money for the fittest on earth should be $1 million.
I mean, in theory, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one of my missions in life as a CrossFit affiliate owner and a CrossFit um, athlete. I want to help generate in some way a prize money of $1 million. We spoke about who did we speak about that with recently, Anthony? We had someone on the
Um,
podcast.
who was it? I can't
Oh,
remember.
we had
We got
we had the
we got the idea from Jen,
yeah.
Pish, the one that does the CrossFit Medical Society,
Yeah.
Pishka, and
So
she was
yeah, we're
talking
going to
about
crowdfund.
like crowdfunding for insurance. So like
Okay.
essentially, you know, when everybody kind of contributes, but you only need to use it when it's there, when it's available. And if
Yeah.
something kind of happens, like an event, it's almost like a GoFundMe kind of page. So it's like, oh, somebody got hurt, so the members all contribute up to a certain amount to be able to cover that particular issue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So it's,
she's trying to create something that's going to compete
Yeah.
against health insurance. So Dave, being the doctor and thinker that he is, went, why don't we do this for the prize money? So if every single CrossFit member contributed $10, and we
yeah.
had millions of dollars available, then we could essentially go, okay, well let's make it. Let's compete with the WFP and give give the
Yeah.
athletes a massive prize money. So
Yeah.
We're
so
we're taking advantage of the CrossFit community, who are very loyal, who are very passionate. We know that there's probably 4 or 5 million CrossFitters consistently CrossFitting around the world. Each one of those says, okay, let's contribute to professionalizing the sport.
Uh-huh.
One of the aspects that professionalizes the sport is the prize money. Okay, and if each CrossFitter just we crowdfunded into a pool of say $1, and obviously some people are going to do more, and some organisations will pay more. Before you know it, you've got a bank of easily $1 million prize money for the winner of the CrossFit Games.
Mhm.
Easily. And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So once you get $1 million prize money, it kind of gets eyeballs onto the sport, onto the in the CrossFit space, because what's this fittest on earth gets $1 million, and then that in itself feeds more advertising revenue, which then further adds more to it. It's just like it's an exponential growth, but you've got to just have that kick-starting trigger to make people want to watch it, see what it's about, and also, of course, helping athletes to sort of get there.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, in theory, it seems like a pretty good idea. I think it'd be a massive movement that you'd have to create. And there's a lot of things that would have to go right, but yeah, in theory, that would be a really cool thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do it. We'll keep you posted. We'll keep you posted. We'll
Yeah.
Keep me
definitely.
posted. We'll tell you there's $1
Um,
million soon, Bill. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Ramp. But awesome. Um, what can you tell us a little bit about the origin story of you and Andrew Hiller? How did Andrew Hiller sort of learn all about you and get to know you?
Yeah. So, 2.5 years ago or something, I think it was the second quarterfinals that had existed. The first one that happened, pretty sure it was my first open. So like I made quarterfinals and like didn't do too hot. And then the next year I was a lot. Wait, it's a year after that. So it was the third year of quarterfinals. I'm sorry. The year they had the rowing GHD V ups as one of the workouts. I think with Boz
Yep.
program that year.
Yep.
But I did like really hot on all of the workouts actually, minus that one. But I mean, I didn't do too bad, but like my reps weren't clean. So I think after the unofficial standings route, I was like fifth in the world and third in North America West behind Pat and Justin. So like I was making a little bit of noise and doing good. The previous year, I had going to the MAC, which was my second year of CrossFit. I had semifinals. I think I took ninth or 10th. I don't remember. So like I missed the games by 5 spots. So it was like a big deal. I was like really new to this CrossFit still, my second year, and like I missed out by 5 spots from the games. So the next year did a lot better in quarterfinals, but then it just like rookie mistakes, all my fault. Like I didn't have a lot of guidance at that point, so I just did dumb stuff with video reviews, my movement quality, all of that, and specifically on the V ups. And so that was like right around when Hiller was like tearing it up, kind of making a bunch of no rep videos. So he found me and he's like, "What is this kid doing?" All this sort of stuff. And so like posted a video about it. I got a major penalty, but like I was still fine. I still qualified for semis that year. But then let me think. Hold on. I did road qualifier the like 3 or 4 months after that, and I unofficial results, I think I took second on the road qualifier. So I qualified for rogue, and then I got a penalty on a snatch wall facing handstand push up workout. It was like 10 down to 1 of snatches and 10 down to 1 of wall facing. And on like the 9 snatches, so like 135, they got up to 245. So they got heavy, but 135 snatch, I did 8 and turned and walked to the wall. And the person counted was like, "You have another one." I was like, "Oh shoot, I have 9." So it's like 135. So I just picked it up. Well, when I picked it up, my feet weren't aligned. And so like I stood the snatch up, but my feet were crooked. So I got a penalty and they cut my workout off at that point. So like I was capped plus the rest of the entire workout. So that immediately knocked me out. There was like 2 parts. There was that, and then there was an overhead squat. It was like a 3 rep max, and like I was shaking on my last one at 315. I had hit 305 before, and I emailed Rogue and I was like, "Hey, if my 315 isn't okay, will you take my 305?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." So I just submitted 315 because I was like, what are the chances? Maybe they think it's a fine rep. So it's fine. I was like, if not, they're going to 305, we're fine. But then Hiller sees them. I guess I mean, he has minions that send him everything. So somebody sent him my stuff. Look at Bill Leahy again. And then Hiller just like tore it up, made a few more points that I didn't end up getting penalties for. Another no rep video. Bill strikes again. So it's like big deal. And it's a big deal too because at that point I was like really a nobody. I wouldn't say I'm really much of anybody still, but like I was a nobody for sure then. So people were like, Hiller's tearing up this one kid who's like been to semis like once. Like what is he doing, sort of thing. And then I had Crash Crucible like 2 months later, and he was at Crash, and he's like, he had DM'd me during crash. He's like, hey, if you want to sit down, like, would you sit down and talk to me? And I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, I don't want to mess you up at any point. I was like, yeah, I don't care. It's fine. I said, I'll sit to you before an event. So like we sat down, he just rolled the camera and it was like 30 minutes, like uncut, just us talking about
Yeah,
it. And
yeah,
I was just
yeah,
like
yeah.
explaining it all. And then at that point, I guess he was like, oh, I think he can be really good one day. And like, he's like, I kind of found him, I guess. I'm
Mhm.
not really sure, honestly, but that was kind of like how it started. And then after that, we just kind of became friends. We talked a lot. He came down maybe 3 or 4 months later and went and made like a video and like hung out at my house because I invited him down after that. I was like, hey, dude, I was like, come down for like, come watch me train for like 3 days. And I was like, you can just see what it's about and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so he came down and that was kind of just like how it all started. And we stayed in touch ever since and hung out some.
What did you think of his style of, holding people accountable to movement standards before? You must have seen a few of his videos before he sort of started picking on you.
Yeah, I definitely knew who he was. And I think it's tough because like a lot of people, he went after me pretty hard, and like a lot of people that he does do that, they don't speak to him. They just shut him off, block him,
Yeah,
and it was like they
yeah,
made
yeah,
it
yeah.
worse. And it's like I did stuff that was wrong in that video, like without a doubt, and so do other people that he does point out that are good. There might be some
Mm,
things that he reaches on or whatever, but like
mhm.
if he makes a video about you, you chances are you did something wrong. And like
Yep,
nobody,
yep,
not a lot of those people wanted to own up to it. And I think
yep.
that was just something I did because I mean it's pretty black and white. Like my V ups were bad. Like I had
Mm,
bad things in there. So it's like I'm not hiding from it. Like I'm
mm,
not
mhm,
blaming it on anybody else but myself. Like that was my doing. I got off the rower early because I didn't read the standard that you had to be on it till 1,000. So it's just like dumb stuff that I did. And I think a lot of people didn't do that. So maybe that carried some weight too when I was talking to him and talking through it all. I was just like, yeah, dude, like that was wrong with me. I learned from it. I deserved all of it. I needed it. I grew
mhm,
from it. And maybe a lot of people don't take that same perspective or do that same approach. So I think some people, yeah, take it the wrong way and then they become
mm.
enemies
That's
Yeah,
with
pretty
yeah,
time.
yeah.
impressive, Bill. It's pretty impressive that you were able to put your ego aside and do that. Because, as you said, a lot of people can't do that. Like if they get the criticism, but that's an absolute testament to your character that you were able to kind of turn that type of relationship around. Because a lot of people don't do that. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's
He
awesome.
definitely has some enemies from it. So
Yeah, so that's incredible. And Dave, just so you know, Dave ended up on an Andrew Hiller video as
Oh
oh
yeah,
well.
yeah,
really?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Dang, you
yeah.
had the
We
honor
didn't.
too.
Yeah, yeah. That's a claim to fame, actually. It
Funny.
was sometimes he pays out on the Masters as well. Like
Yeah.
there's that 60-year-old Masters champion,
Dave
um,
Hippensteel. Is that who
Hippensteel.
you're
Yeah,
talking?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's
Like
a great dude.
they had a hate relationship for ages, and now they're just best buddies.
It's funny. It's
Uh,
funny. So Dave and I, we tested games workouts. So they'll have like a testing team that goes like 3 or 4 months before the games. And we went to a spot that's like I don't even know if it exists anymore, but we went to like a secret spot and we tested games workouts. And Dave was there, hip and steel. It was the year he got penalized and stuff, testing games workouts. So we spent a week together, and I got to know him super well. Well, after that, him and Hiller still had some like conflicting points back and forth. I had like made amends and he had stayed in contact with me and was like what should I do? I want to talk to Hiller. I'm afraid to. And it was like a year. And then he like called me one day. He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna invite him over. I was like, yeah, dude, do it. And then
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
invited him over, and then that was like one of Hiller's best videos that came
That
from
is
it.
one of his best videos with Dave Hippensteel's ring muscle ups in the staircase.
Yeah, yeah. True,
That's
yeah.
insane. Hey Andrew, Anthony, we got to get Dave on the show too. Let's get him on the
Oh
Yeah.
show.
yeah,
I
we
think we
should.
could do
We
it.
should. Yeah, like
Maybe maybe
absolutely.
um, maybe Bill can help get us
You can
connected.
put a good word. You can put a good word in first to get
Yeah. I'm
Dave
sure
in the
Dave would
cell.
do
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. He
So
sounds like it. Sounds like a guy that would love to tell his
He's a
story.
great guy. A lot of knowledge.
I think I'm gonna put a snoop here. I think Andrew Hiller might be your guide that you talked about before. I'm just gonna see how you reflect when I say that. Oh,
That's
okay, that's no. But
Ah,
we'll have to
he's
see.
a
We'll have to
pretty
see.
phenomenal guy. I actually really enjoy watching Andrew Hiller, and I like I feel really bad the other day. I don't know because there was a lady doing the world record number of burpees,
Yeah, I saw that.
and I just put the bat signal and tagged him, like, because
Yeah.
it came across my post. And then the very next day I woke up to an absolute craziness of like her getting absolutely smashed, and she was
Yeah.
not happy about it. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I didn't expect him to even see that video, but he did that whole video on her about
I
her.
saw that.
I
I saw
felt
some Instagram posts.
no, I felt terrible. I was like, I didn't like. I mean, because it's still incredible what she did. Like, you know, she's I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I've watched a few of her videos, and her fitness is beyond doubt. But he went to town on her level of, and she did not take it very well. She was like,
Yeah, that's what I said. There are a lot of people who don't take it very well at all.
So,
well, the argument from their perspective is that, look, it's better that we're going out there and doing half range burpees than sitting at home watching TV, you know, like, but you can't sort of claim to be doing something if you're not doing it. That's like saying I go and play golf, but I don't really, I give myself a score, but the ball never went in the hole.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's great that you're out there playing, playing golf and doing healthy things, but you don't. It's not justified to say I shot a 72 if the
Yeah,
ball
and I think
didn't
if we're
go in the
not
hole.
held to standard, yeah, if we're not held to
Mm.
standard, all we're gonna do is eventually fall to in 15 years, we're gonna be like, what are we doing? Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
absolutely. And it's clear that that's where CrossFit's going, right? So now the whole advertising campaign, the standard is the standard. So, you know, I think Andrew Hiller should probably be quite impressed with that he was able
Yeah.
to quite, because we never talked about that in the beginning. Like it
Yeah,
was
no,
kind
I
of
agree with you.
there, but now it's an absolute selling point of
Yeah, I mean,
this is
it's a
what it
big
is.
deal and a big thing. He's one guy who's changed a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a question about the video that Dave showed to show what you went through with
Yeah.
the Achilles.
Mhm.
And what I find amazing about that video is how did you continue to jump after you'd done your Achilles? You took 3-4 more jumps after that.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I ruptured it on my sixth one, and I think I ended up doing 5 more after that because another one I put my hand on the box. But like
Mm,
when I
mm,
jumped, so playing basketball my whole life, like we had talked about, you hear about Achilles injuries, and like it's like they say the two things: you either hear the pop or you think you kicked someone behind you. And it's like everyone, it happens, you go down, you're like, dude, I just kicked you with my heel. And so when I jumped, I thought I kicked my judge's clipboard. I was like, somehow he got right behind me. I land and turn, and I see him on the side of me. And it was like a moment that lasted forever because it was like I'll never forget. Like I remember spinning and seeing him, seeing the stands, like it's burned in my head because it was like in that moment I knew the everything that happened was like all shrunk down to this. It was because I knew I ruptured my Achilles, and I knew that like I had to not quit. Like it was crazy, but it was like I made all that up in like that one moment. I was like, I just tore my Achilles. This season is over. The last thing I'm gonna do is roll over and say I give up. So like I have no clue, to tell you the truth, how I jumped on that box 5 or 6 more times. Like you look at everyone who's torn their Achilles, they all go down. Like Kobe was a hero because he stood up and shot a free throw. And it was like, I have no clue how I jumped on a 30-inch box 5 or 6 more times without an Achilles. Like I really don't.
mm.
But it was crazy because it was like in that moment I identified what happened, and I knew I was like, I'm not gonna give up, I'm not gonna roll over. And so I finished the box jumps, and I went to the side, was sitting on like a little stereo. The medical team came over. They thought I had heat exhaustion, and I was like, I tore my Achilles, and they're like, there's no way you did. There's absolutely no way. And I was like, maybe y'all are right. I was like, maybe I didn't. And they're like, do you want a wheelchair? But I was like, hey, I can't walk. Like it feels terrible. And they're like,
So
do you want a wheelchair? And I was like, no. Actually, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna take a wheelchair. I'm like, I'm gonna walk off the floor because I was like, this will not be the last time I walk onto a competition, off a competition floor, and I'm definitely not going off in a wheelchair. So like, I got up from the thing and walked all the way through the tunnel, went in the back in the medical tent. Thompson test is what it's called. They'll squeeze your calf. And so like if everything's connected, your foot will plantar flex a little bit. On my good side, moved, bad side, nothing. I was like, shoot. And then that was when it was confirmed, pretty much. I mean, you want to get the MRI and all, but they were like, yeah, it's torn. And so that, yeah,
were
it
you in
sucked.
a lot of pain? Was it agonizingly painful?
No, so that's what a lot of people say too. It was not like I it got like occasionally it would hurt a little bit when I would stand up. It was weird, but like because I mean, I just flew home the next day while competition
Mm.
was still happening, which sucks to go through an airport and all, on crutches and just the whole nine. Flew home that night, got an MRI. The next day, met with the surgeon, and like 6 days later, had surgery. So like, there's a 7 day period where you're just walking around with a torn Achilles, and
Wow.
everyone was saying it's going to be terrible, it's going to be terrible, it's going to get bad, and like at no point did it ever get super awful or super bad.
Mm.
Surprisingly, even like when it immediately happened on the competition floor, even the ride, like we left there and we were just going to try to find crutches somewhere. So it was like none of that
Did you
really
put
got
did they
too
give you
bad.
a moon boot? Did they give you like one of those big boots
Yeah, no,
to wear?
so they didn't have any boots actually on site right there. So one of the guy, I think his last name's Hicks on the medical team, he
Hmm.
taped up my foot in like a cardboard box. Like they literally made me a cardboard splint.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emergency first aid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
And
when you actually did the Achilles, like
Yeah.
why do you think that occurred? Like, because you'd done so much work beforehand, and then like one box jump, it goes. Like, have you done any thoughts as to was it just the amount of work that you had to do?
I think like, I mean, we ran 2.5 miles or whatever beforehand. We did 500 dubs. I was at the very end of the workout. So yeah, I mean, a culmination of all that high volume training leading up to semis, and it was just kind of the perfect storm. It just snapped. I didn't really have any prerequisites to it. So like, there was no like tendonitis or anything like that. It was all like pretty much just happened, kind of freak sort of thing.
Yeah. And how do you
so
continue?
you're not someone who suffers from niggly Achilles tendon over years
Yeah. No, I didn't.
episodically. Okay.
Yeah, no,
That's
there was no pre anything to it, no tendonitis or anything like that. It just kind of happened, unfortunately, which
you're
sucks because
so.
there's like no signs. I was like, hey, chill out or whatever. It just
Mm,
happened.
mm, mm, mm. Do you think that there's still got to be a technique element to it happening? Like uh, because like if you think about everyone else in the field did all those double unders and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
running, and they walked out fine. Is there still a skill element to doing some of these monostructural or factors like, you know, i- is that some way of scientifically trying to understand why these injuries occur?
Honestly, not really. The only thing that I can think about is Hiller pointed out that like the people when Gabby and Henrik tore it at Rogue, they were like pushing a sled, and I was sled pushing my box. So it was like foot and dorsiflexion, like Achilles elongated, and then like quick contractions of jumping, which they were like doing pogo hops. I was jumping,
Mm-hmm.
but like literally outside of that, I have no idea. I think it's just kind of a random thing that just occurs. Like, I mean, it's crazy because your Achilles tendon's like thicker than your finger, so a giant
Yeah,
tendon just snap in half.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
And I mean, it's pretty been impressive, like your recovery from it, to actually, like what you did afterwards is pretty phenomenal. So,
yeah.
what did you do? Because so many people take a very long time to recover from an injury like that.
Yeah, I definitely just took my time through it all. It was a tough thing because I was in a good spot. Like, I mean, going into it, like I was fit, I was young, like all of it. So it was like I was gonna recover faster than normal. But the biggest thing was not pushing it. Like I didn't come out of my boot early. I didn't start PT for 6 weeks. Like I took it slow, and it was like taking it slow for 8 months. In the long run, ended up helping you after the 8-month mark versus the people who pushed like the first 8 months kind of thing. So it was like I really took it slow, and all of a sudden I kind of got to a point. I'm like, dang, it feels pretty good. Like you're ready to roll, integrate everything, as opposed to like, oh, I can walk on it the next day, or I'm gonna start PT in a week or something like that. So I definitely took it very slow and methodical. My PT and I had like an entire plan that went out with that. So it was tough because it tested patience for sure.
Did the
Yeah, right.
surgeon tell you how severe the grade of injury was? Like, was it
It was
was
just
the
full
MRI
rupture.
did a complete rupture, so grade
Yeah,
3 or whatever?
yeah,
Right.
yeah, full rupture. So,
Did
but
he give you options? Did he say, look, we can keep you, we don't have to do surgery, or
No, unfortunately, it is separated like a half inch or something like that. He's like, if you want to kind of walk normal and be regular, you got to do surgery.
Right. And do they take a graft, or I'm just interested, being a surgeon,
Yeah.
do they take a
Yeah.
graft from somewhere and lengthen it,
So,
or is it just end-to-end stitching?
so I think end to end stitched together, and then they put some sort of patch over it. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like some sort of like bio patch or something like that that's supposed to help it all calcify together and heal a little bit faster. So, like if you look at the thickness of that Achilles, it's thicker than my other Achilles.
Right. Is your range of motion in that plantar flexion and
Mm-hmm.
dorsiflexion, is that still different? Is that different now than the
So
other side?
the only thing that I can tell right now is that foot sits a little tighter than my right foot, but it doesn't, like when I stretch and like warm up sort of thing, I can have full range of motion plantar and dorsiflexion, like they're equal. Um,
Yep.
but it does sit like a tad tighter, and I think that's from like obviously being torn and pulled together
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
thing. So
yeah.
it's gonna feel like a little more, but it's
Yeah.
become honestly very minimal. There's a guy in Michigan, so like above me in the United States, Seth. Paradigm Fitness is the name of his gym. He knows Hiller. He's a chiropractor, but he doesn't. My dog's barking. He's a chiropractor, but he doesn't do any sort of chiropractic things. He does DNS work. So it's like dynamic neuromuscular stimulation is what it's called. And basically it's like retraining your body to move through its optimal movement patterns through like PT, nervous stimulation, things like that. And he ruptured his Achilles from maybe like 4 years ago now. But him and Hiller were on a regionals team together. So Hiller kind of hooked me up with him and was like, dude, like this guy knows what he's talking about and he tore his Achilles. So after I went through all the rehab with my PT, Seth is the one who kind of put me into the performance side of things. Like he helped me out tremendously. He spent a few weekends here from probably the 8 month, yeah, like 6 or 7 month mark on. And then he's helped me out tremendously. Like he kind of took the next step after the rehab back into performance and like looking at all my movement patterns and that sort of stuff and fixing all that. So he's been a huge help with that too.
Mhm.
So there were
What does
movement
that mean?
patterns.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Sorry,
there
go
were
ahead.
movement. Sorry, there were movement patterns that were that
Oh yeah, yeah,
needed work on. So
for
which ones were
sure.
they, Bill?
Like, I mean, it was running, pull like cleans, any sort of Olympic lifts, like one heel would move faster than the other. Like running, you would get fatigued, heel heights would change, like things like that. Like I became hyper obsessed with watching all my movement patterns. Like if I have a hip shift in my squat, because I'm like, if I'm gonna do this for a long time, I'm gonna put millions of like reps on my body. Like, what I don't want to do is squat crooked 1,000 times and then wonder why my right hip hurts or things of that nature. So like I became hyper obsessed with that, and Seth helped me out a lot with that because while it was like you could see it, you knew what you were doing wrong, like he was able to like neurologically correct me and help me get back into like an optimal movement pattern. Here, let me 1 second. Let me let him out real
Yeah,
quick.
what is it? DNS, dynamic
DNS,
neurostimulation.
dynamic
Right.
neurostimulation.
Yeah,
Is
DNS.
DNS, is that like a gizmo? Is that something that he puts on your muscles or your tendon
No, so
and
like the
and
best way to
sends an
explain
electrical
it
current?
is like he would I would like he would come in, I would do like a full session of training, he'd video and watch all my movement patterns, and then he would be like, hey, you have this hip shift, this ankle moves, you watch your cleans, your good foot moves higher than your other one, and he's like, so lay on the table, and like I have a table here, and he would lay me on the table and he'd be like, hold this arm up, don't let me resist. And then like you'd fail the muscle test. And so he's like, yeah, that muscle isn't firing when you pull here. So then you're counteracting it by shifting this way. And so he's like, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z. So you could do like active movements. He could do like pressure point stimulation. So like he just like pushes, it's random stuff, but it's like push here, pull on your neck. And he's like, retest. And then you'll retest and like you can hold it. And he's like, good, now go do a clean again. So then you go do a power clean. He's like, look, your shoulders are back in line. And so it's like things like that is what he does. And you create bad habits from being injured because you're like keeping part of your body safe. You're not using it and all that. So like when you go back into being symmetrical and doing things, you're not going to be. And so he had a huge part in doing that through kind of the way that I explained. And it's like way above my knowledge. Like I have no clue anything that he's doing, but like that's kind of the gist of it. But yeah, it's like
Yeah.
magic with what he can do.
So he's trying to adjust your motor patterns. It's a little bit like, you see people doing wall balls,
Yeah.
and they're doing their wall balls, and you see them come up on their tiptoes, well before they've sort of launched the ball, and you
Mhm.
say, no, keep your heels on the ground. It's okay to come up on your heels, but it's the timing of when your heels come up, as opposed to coming up too early, because you're not using the power of the more proximal, your
Mhm.
proximal hip extensors and your hammies and your quads, and they're using the calf too early before they've opened up their hips. And
Yeah.
to retrain that, it's a central nervous system retraining,
Uh-huh.
um, that makes the difference in the efficiency of the movement. But I suppose that does come down to, when you're doing a box jump now, are you thinking, okay, I need hip extension first, and then hammies, and then the last movement after I've already started creating um, force to go up over the box? Now I'll extend my calf and jump. Are you
Yeah.
thinking more about that now? Even your
Yeah.
technique for a box jump.
Yeah, so honestly, no. It was kind of like, and this was something Seth and I talked about. He was like, "Do it, and whatever, like whatever differences you have in your movement will correct. But I don't want you to like overthink anything." So it's like I jumped on the box, and it was like in my loading phase, my left heel would come up, or when I went to go for extension, I would reach more extension on my good side than on my bad side, and
Yeah,
so things like that would happen, and then through like different little PT exercises or nervous system stimulation, stretching, whatever, we would like kind of go work on it and then come back and retest and see if it's fixed or all. And it's like the best way to do all that was like just to not think about it, because it's almost too much if you just try to overthink everything. It's more if you want your natural movement patterns to just be good. You don't want to have to like walk
yeah.
up to the box and
Oh,
think. It's like crazy
yeah,
things. Like I'd walk up to a power clean barbell and I would
yeah.
like shift my weight to my bad side, shift my weight
Mm,
to my good side, shift my weight back to my bad side, and then feel what's even. And then once I was like, all right, this feels even. And then immediately he was like, one step to the bar, do a power clean. And then all of a sudden my heels were even. He's like, great. And he's like,
mm,
do it again. Heels weren't even. And so he's like, now let's go back, balance. And then I balance again, step right up, good. And it was like we worked with that and drove that movement pattern into me. And then he's like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the same thing, but put the bar 5 feet away. So we would do that. I'd walk 5 feet to it, and he's like, "Oh, we're still good." And then it eventually got to you do it like once before you started, and then I'd be even. And then it was like, I don't do it anymore. So it's like things like that. That
yeah.
like I said, where I'm gonna do thousands of power cleans in my life. So what I don't want to do is start cleaning crooked or squatting crooked,
So,
and then it's like,
yeah.
why does this hurt? Why does that hurt? As a result of moving from my Achilles.
So are you
Yeah.
continually doing that, like Bill, or do you find that like once you've got the movement pattern ingrained again, you don't have to worry about it? Is that kind of how it works, or is there
Yeah,
a
no.
continual readjustment and
For the most part, I move pretty evenly now. Once I kind of get it back adjusted to normal, thankfully it stays. Now there is some things like he's gone and he'll come back down, he'll recheck, and he's like, "Oh, this hip is like a little tighter. It's moved back to where it's like old patterns, but not as much." So he's like, "That's good. We'll work it again." And you just like keep chopping away at it, and before you know it, you were moving 50% the wrong way. Now it's like your default's like 90% or 10%. I'm sorry, the wrong way. So it's like barely anything.
re?
So it sticks, and some of them stick more than others. Some of them he'll come back and be like, "We that didn't work at all. Like you're back to your old movement pattern here." And so it's
Mm,
good too because him and I have worked together, so like he kind of knows me as an athlete and as learning my body and how it moves and like what my
yeah.
like movement are and what's good, what's bad, sort of thing.
So he must be a CrossFitter or Olympic weightlifter as well, like to be able to know what looks
Yeah. No, he was
efficient.
on Hiller's regional team. They were on a regional team together in
Oh, okay. So
2017, 18, something
he's a
like
high
that. So
level athlete. Yeah.
yeah, so he's very fit and he did cross. He's been doing CrossFit for a very long time. Owns Paradigm Fitness, which is a box like CrossFit gym. So
Yeah.
yeah, he definitely
Yeah.
is into it all, which is good because like I needed somebody who had a clue on what I was doing.
Mm.
So
People,
is
people
that something other athletes do, Bill? Like I haven't heard anything like that before. Like I mean, I've obviously heard like people have their movements looked at and that sort of thing. But is that something that professional athletes are tending to do? Is this the secret sauce you've got, Bill?
I honestly have no idea, but I do know that like I don't think Seth works with like anybody else from the games. And honestly, I get hesitant to continually say his name to everyone because I'm like, people don't need to go to him. He can just stay with me. But I I really don't know, honestly. To answer your question, I'm not sure if other people do that sort of stuff. I know other people don't use Seth, and I know what he says, like DNS work is what it's called. I know he said that not a lot of people do it around here. Like he has a mentor in Chicago that he talks about, but he's like, I gotta go like travel the world for seminars and things like that. It's just not a commonly practiced thing.
Because everybody
But
focuses on mobility, right? That's what all the athletes want to sell and go wide and all that sort of thing. But this is different because this is like
it's interesting
very
too because I mean,
targeted.
he like went to chiropractic school, so like he's a chiropractor, and he hasn't cracked me once. Like at no point have I
That's
been
awesome.
cracked in any facet. So it's
That's
like
great.
he's like, yeah, I'm a chiropractor, but like I don't lay you on the table and crack you.
No. Well, this is it. It's all motor patterns. It's efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
It's so applicable to so many things. So if you applied that to your snatch or your push jerk or your split jerk, you'd make you'd increase the efficiency of that motor pattern until it became automatic. Like you said before, you don't want to go into thinking about it so consciously. It needs to be unconscious. And it's like when you see someone who's a really good Olympic snatcher, they just get the bar into the perfect position every time. And people who are not, they're struggling. The bar's too far in front. The bar's not on their hip crease. That's what it comes down to, is that you just do it naturally without even thinking. That's when you've hit that elite level of efficiency.
Yeah. I mean, it's just having all good movement patterns. And when you have major injuries, those things will get screwed up. So, like, if you don't get it fixed, you'll create bad
Yes.
habits. And that's what I was like
Yeah.
most afraid of. Because, I mean, in my opinion, there are very few single injuries that are worse than an Achilles rupture. So, like, I had one of the worst things. I mean, you can like tear a few ligaments in your knee or something, it can be worse. But like one ligament in your knee isn't worse what an Achilles. Like I really believe, and maybe it's biased, but like there's not much that's worse than an Achilles rupture. So like I wanted to have longevity in the sport. And I wanted to take it slow. Like I wanted to do it right. So I definitely took a lot of steps to try to achieve that.
And you still programmed your training while you had that boot on and while you were healing. Did you keep that program? You could almost sell that program as the Achilles tendon rehab program.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was kind of crazy. I don't know if everybody would want to ski 5 times a week like I was, but yeah, I definitely worked around a lot of things. For the first 2 weeks, I still had stitches in because it was like a long scar on the back of my Achilles, so I couldn't sweat. So like I had like a little fan by me, and I was like doing some strict pull-ups and some bar dips and stuff like that. Just keeping it on my foot so my foot wouldn't sweat while I was doing my pull-ups. And then I got the stitches out and the temporary cast came off. You went to the boot, and then it was like no weight bearing. So I was like, they make this armless crutch, is what it's called. And my knee would go like in the crutch, so I could like walk around and like I would ski, do pull ups, all that sort of stuff, and like just honestly as much as I could. Like I did a million leg extensions because I was afraid of losing a contraction in my quad and like my quad muscle. I did stem, all that. And then as time went on, you were able to weight bear. So then you could start echo biking, start skiing, and then you gain flexion. So then you could start rowing, you could deadlift, all of that. And then eventually start running, jumping.
Did your numbers, like your bench press numbers and your
Yeah, it actually did. Yeah.
did they go up? Did those
Yeah,
numbers
so my
actually
bench,
increase?
I did like a 10-week bench cycle because I was like, I mean, screw it, I can bench press. So I started benching like as soon as I got out of surgery. Like next day, I was like started the cycle, and I benched for 10 weeks, and my bench went from 300 pounds to 340 pounds because it was like
Wow.
I just freaking benched the whole time. So yeah, there was a few things like
40
that
pound
got pretty
gain.
good.
And have you maintained that? Like, did that strength gain in your upper body, has that stayed with you?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
Yeah.
there's probably like a few things that I pushed. Like I pushed my strict pull-ups pretty hard during that time. I might not be able to do them to like the very nth degree I did, but everything is better upper body wise because of that. Yeah, for sure. It stayed with me mostly.
That's one of your things, isn't it? 10 strict pull-ups for every
Yeah,
minute
for
on the
10
minute for
minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah,
Can you
Hillary and
do
I
that?
talk about that. No, I haven't done it. So like I haven't really met anybody who can either, but who can do 10 strict pull-ups unbroken at the top of every minute for 10 minutes. I've done
That's
it
crazy.
doing 5 at at 0 and then 5 at 30 seconds. So like basically 20 sets of 5. I've done it like that before, but I've never gone 10 unbroken. And Hiller's really good at strict pull-ups. And I had told him that one time when he was here. I was like, dude, I think this EMOMs, I don't think it's impossible, but I was like, it'd be very impressive if there's a CrossFitter who could do this, especially if there's somebody who weighs over 200 pounds and can do this. And he's like, dude, that's so easy. And then it was like by set 3 or something, he finished his third set of 10 and failed his fourth set. I was like, you didn't even make it halfway through the EMOM. I said, it's much harder than you think. Yeah, that would be an impressive EMOM if somebody could
Hey,
finish that.
let's call that the Kill Bill challenge.
Yeah.
The Kill Bill challenge, and just see how far people can get into the EMOM before they fail, and then that's it. You know.
Yeah.
That
I
could
gotta
be our
go and
next
do it first, but yeah.
Well, that could be our next workout, because every month or so we create a CrossFit affiliate members a camp workout, and we just put it out there. It's a little bit like the Kill Taylor thing, you know, the Kill Taylor every Saturday morning. And we want people to just do the camp.
So what are you up to, Bill? How many minutes can you go?
Yeah, what is the goal?
The best I've done, and it's honestly insane to say, is 9. I failed my 10th one. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do anything about it. Like I was just at failure. So, but I was at failure at like 5 on my 10th. So like 9 was basically red line. The set took me like 35 seconds because I was just hanging there, and then I had like nothing to give for the last one. So
So it's
I've been
9
through.
minutes. You went to 9 minutes, and in the 10th minute you did 9 reps.
No, in 10th minute I did 5 reps.
You did
And the 5 reps was like hanging there for like 40 seconds. So like it was really bad. But that was
So
like
close.
right after my Achilles. So my pull's better. I don't think I would make it that far today. I think I could make it probably around 8 sets today. But yeah,
Okay.
I'd be intrigued to see if
Yeah.
I don't really know if there's going to be anybody who over 200 pounds can do that. I would be very impressed.
Yeah. Well, we can scale it back to 5. We could scale it back to 5 reps. You know.
Yeah. Strict pull-ups are just it's such a tough movement. Like you can just get to failure so quickly. It's like you can do a set of 3 and then the next minute you like feel fine and you go up there again and it's like gone.
Yeah. That's it.
But
Well, it's a bit different from the Kennedy one, right? What was it? The 100
10
50
rounds,
50 pull-ups, 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups. Did you see that?
Yeah. That's all.
And then the movement standard was a little bit
a little shady on that one. Yeah.
That's all. Hiller did that one in 10 rounds. He partitioned it 10 rounds, 5 and 10, and I think he did it in 6 minutes something.
That's pretty good.
6 minutes, and one of the guys at the Pentagon who was doing it with RFK, he said, "Yes, I did that in 2 minutes."
Yeah, I know. I saw some dude say it was like 3 something. He did it. And I was like,
so not one single rep, and not one single of RFK's reps counted either.
Yeah, true. True.
But as you'd expect.
But it was good to see him. Absolutely, it's good to see a 70-year-old still doing
that sort of stuff. That is true. It's good to see people in politics doing that. I think that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah,
for sure.
So what have you got for the rest of the day, Bill? What time is it where you are?
It is 4:45 p.m. So what does that make it? 7:45 for y'all a.m.?
Yep. And so have you got more training to do today? Do you do an evening piece or?
So normally I do, but this week is my deload week. I just had like a 4-week training cycle. So I'm done for the day. I did all my stuff earlier today. But yeah, typically I do have an evening session that starts right around now, actually.
Yeah, okay, righto. And your meal, talking a little bit about your meal and nutrition and feeding the machine. Does your wife look after all of that? Is she doing the macros and all that kind of business, calories, energy?
I didn't track leading up to the CrossFit Games. Like my entire career I didn't track. I kind of just like ate enough, or like what I felt was good. I ate clean whole foods, like that sort of stuff. Like I wasn't eating Oreos sort of thing, but I wasn't tracking what I was eating. And honestly, after the games, I just felt like I weighed too much. Like I was like heavy, like 213, 14 when I would wake up in the morning, and like as heavy as like 220 when I would go to bed. And so I just felt like I was really heavy. And so after the games, I cut about 10 pounds or so. I'm like 202 when I wake up in the morning now, like 206.7 when I go to bed. So maybe like 12-ish pounds. Like I cut weight significantly after the games like up protein, lower the fats, and started like kind of having a clue of what I'm intaking. And so I dropped like 10 to 12 pounds and I felt 5 times better from it. Like my running has gotten so much better. I feel a lot lighter and my strength has stayed. So nutrition wise now it's definitely way more dialed in than it's ever been actually. And I feel 10 times better because of it. I'm at a much more functionable weight specifically when it comes to running, but my strength hasn't taken a hit from it. So it's like it's really good actually.
Mm. Well, you do see some CrossFit athletes, you see some who are like really ripped and
Yeah.
really lean, like they've got like 5% body fat or, really low body fat.
Yeah.
And then you see the other type of athlete who just doesn't look quite as ripped. And
Yeah.
it's not, surely that is not because of training volume. It's got to be their diet, right?
Yeah,
There's
it could
something
be. I think
different
it's
about the
like
diet.
diet could play a factor, and then genetics, I think, play a little bit of a role too. Just like how lean your body is going to allow you to get while eating clean and exercising. So, I
Mm,
mean, I think some people can get leaner than others, but in general, most people should be pretty lean doing
mm,
what we do and eating correctly. Yeah.
mm. Have you done much research into, the effects of insulin on body fat storage and things like that?
Not
Insulin and that, no?
not too much actually. No.
Well, I think is it 2 weeks' time. We've got a fellow. His name is Bronson, and he's coming on the show, and we're going to talk about nutrition for CrossFit elite CrossFit athletes,
Yeah,
um, and the effects of carbohydrates
I'm gonna have to go
on
watch that.
on body weight. Because his theory, and I'm sort of in his camp, is that a lot of CrossFit athletes feel as though they need a lot of carbohydrate to fuel their training, but
Uh-huh.
the downside to that is carbohydrates cause insulin secretion, and so
Okay.
they're constantly driving insulin secretion. And one of the downsides of constantly driving insulin secretion is fat storage.
Yeah, makes
Okay, so
sense.
if you reduce your carbohydrates, you reduce your insulin, you continue to eat your fats, your healthy fats, and your protein, but so you don't lose power and strength, but
Hmm.
your power to weight ratio goes through the roof.
Yeah, that makes
Okay,
sense. Yeah, it's
so
an
your power
interesting.
to weight, if your power to weight ratio is better, then it's like you've got an advantage. You've
Mhm.
biohacked the games because it's almost like you've got less weight on the barbell compared to the guy standing next to you
Yeah.
because
That's interesting. I'll definitely.
your body weight is a couple of kilos less. So
Yeah, I'm
um,
definitely gonna take it. I wanna that podcast will be interesting. I'm gonna take a listen.
yeah, we'll get, and he's written a paper. It's just submitted for publication. He did a meta-analysis of all of the published studies on carbohydrate metabolism and strength and that type of stuff. So that's about to be published, and he's going to be our guest in a couple of weeks' time. So tune in for
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm
Um,
definitely gonna take a listen.
alcohol, Bill, you do
Yeah.
not touch alcohol. You say, I think I've heard you say you have never drank alcohol.
Yeah, it's actually a true statement. No, I've never taken a sip of alcohol in my 24 years
That's
of existence.
that's incredible. There wouldn't be many people on the planet your
Yeah,
age who can say
that's
that.
true. That is very true.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, I can't break the streak. I'm like,
Yes,
I'm
that's
like, it would
awesome.
just be, it'd be like, yeah, I haven't drank my whole life, but I drank like 3 times. It's like, it's so much cooler to say like you haven't drank it all. It's like, because it was like
There's a
nobody has
t-shirt.
done that. Yeah, no,
There's a
but it
t-shirt.
was
There's a
just
t-shirt
something.
in that.
Yeah, it was just something I stayed away from growing up, and then like I dove into high school and I was playing basketball, so like it wasn't a positive thing that was going to help me be good at basketball, so I wasn't going to have any part of it being in my life. And then CrossFit, obviously, like you want to be fit, that's not going to be something that's going to help you. So try to walk the straight and
Yeah,
narrow with it.
So
yeah.
how have you avoided it, Bill? Like, as all of your friends not drinking as well?
Oh
Like,
yeah, for sure. The best thing to do is not put yourself in the situation to where you then have to make the choice because the times that you have to say no are going to be harder every time it comes up. Like,
mm,
and so if you can put yourself around the right people, not in the situation to where you have to resist, you're going to have a lot better chance of saying no.
So are you telling me there's a whole bunch of 24-year-olds in Louisiana who have never drank? Like there's a whole group of you.
No, I'm just saying that I didn't go out to that party or whatever to put myself in that spot. Yeah.
So no, that's impressive.
No,
Impressive. You
it's
can
a
see.
very common thing around here for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. So Louisiana's got a very like what is it? It's what's the alcohol that you guys drink in Louisiana? Is it
I couldn't even tell you. I
whiskey
know it's
or
like
something? It's some
it's
kind of
beer.
And
Beer is a big thing around here.
mm,
Yeah,
so
people crank out beer. I mean, yeah, but like it's a.
it's
I mean, I
global.
guess you could consider it a party state. Like New Orleans is somewhere that I live about 30 minutes north of. There's like a really long bridge. I live on the
mhm.
other side of a lake, and New Orleans is like a party city for sure. Yeah.
So what about other recovery things do you do? What else do you do, Bill? Do you um
Sleep a lot. Sleep is very good. I think a lot of people undermine how good it is for you. It's just it's crazy when you think about like one bad night of sleep has such a negative effect that people don't even realize. Like you wake up, you have visual effects of it. Like your eyes are droopy, you're tired. Like you have emotional effects, like you're irritable.
Mm,
Performance effects, like all of it. And it's like from like one bad night of it. It's like
mm,
that's how important it is, and it's something that we've just like normalized. Like grab some caffeine or whatever, and you'll be good to roll. But it's like that's how important it
mm,
is that if you don't do it like once, it like has a negative. Like you can visually see how negative it is on your body. So sleep is something that I really have a high priority with, and I try to sleep as much as my body will allow me to sleep. Just, I mean, eating clean and all that, staying hydrated is a good thing, and then you can like stretch and that sort of stuff. I have a sauna and a cold plunge at my house, so I use that hot cold therapy probably about like 4 days a week. I think the sauna is something that really benefits me more. The cold plunge, if I'm being like totally honest, I don't, and this is just from like self experimentation and like what I feel has worked for me. The sauna, I do like if I like my best thing that I do is like I'll sauna for about 15 20 minutes. It's like about 180 degrees. Get out and then I stretch for like when I'm warm, I stretch for like 20 30 minutes, hit another 15 to 20 minute sauna, and like that mix has been the best that I've found for my recovery. That one, like I
right.
actually feel a difference the following day. Cold plunge is more of a feels really good and something that I don't want to do that I force myself to do every day. And then like I try to like it's like some just like weird thing I do is like I try to like fall asleep in the cold plunge. No, I'll never do that. But like I want to be that calm in 40-degree water, which is so uncomfortable. So it's like the same thing. You're sitting on the echo bike and your legs are burning and your lungs are on fire, but you can be calm in the situation. So I almost use the cold plunge more for that. And it's a very good, like, feels really good coming out of the sauna and dipping right into the cold water.
Yeah.
That's something that feels like the effects of it and dopamine is like a super good thing. But for
Mm.
recovery purposes, the sauna I think is super beneficial. And then I do cold plunge. And like I
Do you do
said,
it all
sleep.
through winter? All through winter as well?
Yeah, yeah, I do. It's actually a weird feeling when you get out and it doesn't get too cold around here, but sometimes it'll be like below freezing and you'll get out and you like don't feel it. It's like it feels like summer. It's like weird because your body's just iced over. It's like you don't feel
Yeah.
any like the effect of the cold, and it's a weird feeling. But yeah, I'll do it year round.
Have you ever done rounds before? Like I've just started doing rounds where you essentially do 20 to 30 minutes in the sauna, then
Hmm.
5 minutes ice, and you do it 3 times. And you finish, and
Yeah,
if it's the start of the day, you finish on ice. If it's the end of the day, you finish on like some kind
yeah.
of warmth. So you're ready for
So
sleep.
yeah, so a few things with that. I have done that before. I do it a lot, so my tolerance has built up a good bit. And for me to like hit 20 or 30 minutes in sauna, like I could do. But once I get in the cold, it's gonna take me like 30 to 40 minutes to get back hot again, sort of
Mm.
thing. And then it would take me longer to get back cold again. So like I would almost end up like spending a lot of time with the back and forth. And like I said, self experimentation, that's what I've felt has worked the best for me. Something else that I say, and like there's research behind it that people have said, like sauna before bed because you raise your body temperature, so then your body is gonna like
Mm.
obviously cool you back down, which is like what you want to do when you sleep. Um, and like there's research backing that. For me personally, I don't sleep that great when I sauna. Like I just sleep hot. Like I feel like I never almost go the other way because they say like getting the sauna before bed is supposed to be great. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
when I get out of that, take a like cool shower or whatever, hang out an hour or two later, go to sleep. I'm like, I just sleep hotter than like I typically would if I didn't sauna. And I've tried it because I'm like, okay, this is good. This might help. And it was just like through trial and error. I was like, man, it just doesn't work for me, kind of thing. Like, it just makes it worse. I actually sleep better if I cold plunge less. So like
Yeah.
I will, and then like they say it's the opposite of the effect because your body's gonna warm you up. Like you're gonna shiver, you're gonna do whatever, and it's like you're gonna warm up trying to go to sleep. But for me, it just like feels like the best. Like I will cold plunge for 5 minutes or so at like 40 degrees, get out, take it like not warm shower, but like normal shower and like get myself out of it. So I get out the shower cold still. And then like I'm cool by the time I get in bed and I sleep the best when it's that way, which is like contrary to what you're saying and what a lot of people say. But
No, I'm
it's
going to try it. I'm going to try it.
yeah, it's definitely just
I'll try it
driven
today.
on what feels the best for me.
It's always good to experiment with these things, right? And see what
Yeah, no, it is
feels good
true.
and all this sort of stuff. It's awesome to hear that you want to stay in the uncomfortable place, because that is what the ice bath is about, isn't it?
Oh, it's very
just trying
uncomfortable
to,
for sure. I
it's
try to
trying
like
to, it's,
drop my heart rate a ton in there. Like I like slow my breathing down. I gold mine is like what I'll typically do is when I come out of the sauna and I dip it in the plunge, I give myself 10 breaths. And I got to make it more than 3 minutes and 10 breaths. So like, you know how people get in there, there's like,
Yep.
well, it's like you didn't wasted 3 of your breaths. So it's like I'm at the point now where I can sit in there, take one big breath, and then like 20 seconds later, another big breath, and you'll calm yourself down. And so like I watch my heart rate on my whoop, like 120 coming out the sauna, and then just like within a minute plummets to like 40. Because it's like you slow to control your breathing, and then you're in the cold. It's like your blood flow is going to slow down and all that. And like I get to points where like I can take one breath in a minute because it's like your heart, you're just like so
Yep.
calm, so relaxed. But I mean, that's something you have to work up to because it's hard to become that comfortable, that relaxed in 40-degree water, which is
Oh,
super.
absolutely, absolutely. I did. The guy that I go to the recovery place, and he talked to me about like stay in the ice bath until you can breathe in for 30 and out for 30.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always my goal now. I jump in the ice bath after the sauna, and until I can do that, I don't get out. So
Yeah, no,
it
that's
could be 2 minutes, it could be 5 minutes.
yeah.
So,
It's a cool thing, and you'll come to find like you can become so calm and so relaxed in the cold water, and your heart rate, like mine will get to like 35. So it's just like you're just like boom, boom, like so slow and so relaxed, and you don't need to breathe that often because everything's just like mellowed out, and you can take a breath in an entire minute and be fine.
yeah. All right, Dave. Have we sold the ice bath to you
That
now?
must have been your secret to the 1 minute 30, 50 cals on the Echo bike. You must have been
Absolutely.
thinking that
Absolutely.
you must have been thinking that you're in an ice bath. Get my heart rate down. Get my heart rate down.
Yeah.
That was not happening on that. I'll tell you that much. So
yeah, you didn't look like you had a heart rate of 40 after you got off that bike.
Yeah, probably the opposite.
No.
Anthony keeps hassling me. Anthony keeps hassling me to get an one of these ice
Yeah,
baths
I
or
mean,
saunas at the gym.
my honest opinion, you're much better off getting a sauna. I think it benefits
Yeah.
you a lot more than an ice bath for sure. But I mean, I got both, and I like them both. So
But I tell Anthony that he'd probably get more gains by just doing an extra training session with me rather than, he's not. He hasn't quite reached that. No, none of our members have reached that point where that's where they're going to get the biggest bang for their buck. They they get the biggest bang for their buck by just doing an extra training session or something like that. These are the diminishing returns for the elite of the elite, right?
Yeah, true.
But this is Bill. This is what Dave does. We do some kind of long 20-minute workout, and then afterwards he goes, "Hey Anthony, you want to do DT?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't want to do DT. I'm not interested.
That's when you need to do it. That's
exactly.
let's make it. Well, in the interest of your day, Bill, was there any other questions that you had for Bill that before we sort of do our little close out?
I mean, I think I think it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, Bill. So, and I'm sure
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
I'm absolutely a fan too. As I said to you the other day, like, I mean, we're Australian and we want to see Ricky and Jay and all those guys do well, but you're very much up there. So, you're a really impressive young guy. So I look forward to.
That's great.
Thank you for having me. It's been good. We've had a good chat.
So, we typically do a little closeout set of questions, Bill. and
Okay.
and you've got to kind of answer them, and
Okay.
and Anthony and I sort of guess what you're going to say.
Okay.
So you
And
don't say it.
we keep
Gotcha.
our own little we keep our own little scoreboard. So
So
have
because
you got a
Dave's
set of questions for
ultra
Bill?
competitive, Bill. So and I'm behind, so I need you to lock in
Yeah.
here so that
All
we
right.
can.
All right. Let's do it.
Have you got a set of questions for Bill? I got a couple.
No, I haven't got
Okay.
any today.
Let's
so.
I'm gonna this. Have you heard of Australian colloquialisms, Bill? Like,
Not
have
too
you,
much.
you probably don't know too much about Australia, but
Yeah, honestly, no.
I'm going to give you a couple of Aussie colloquialisms, and you got to sort of tell us what you think they mean. So
All right.
here's one. You ripper, you ripper. Does that mean a really painful injury,
Okay.
or something really exciting? So don't tell us. Don't tell us.
Okay.
Anthony, what do you think Bill will say? You
I
ripper.
think Bill's going to say exciting.
Okay, I'll go the opposite then. You ripper. I'm going to say Bill thinks that's something like a Achilles tendon rupture or something like that.
I think it's exciting. That's what I'd go with. That's what
You
I was
know
gonna.
why that is, Dave? That's such a leading question because you've said it exciting as well. You've gone, you ripper.
Yeah,
It's
Have you
exciting
heard?
straight away.
that's what I was
Have you
kind of
heard?
saying in my head, and I was like, that's what I would go with. Yeah,
You ripper. Okay, so this is the things that Aussies just say all the time, like just comes
that's
out of their
funny.
mouth. You ripper.
I've really
You're
never
right.
heard of that.
Yeah. So next time you do really well in a workout, you ripper.
Yeah, that's great. Everybody will look at me
All
like
right.
I'm nuts. They'd be like, what are you talking about?
Okay. What about stop carrying on like a pork chop?
Wow, I've never heard that saying before.
Stop carrying on like a pork chop. Does that mean you're being silly, or you are you're over the limit on your carry-on luggage on an aeroplane? Stop carrying on like a pork chop.
All right, y'all are gonna
Okay,
guess.
you'll go, Dave. You can go first.
I'm gonna say it's the luggage on an airplane. You know how you have that weight limit on
I'm
your
going to
carry-on
say
luggage.
silly then because I'm going to go the opposite to you because I want the
Yeah.
points.
I definitely think it's silly. That or it just seems to fit more.
So that's what we say. We talk like that. Stop carrying on like a pork chop. Honestly.
Yeah, that's a crazy saying, but yeah, I would assume that means stop being silly, focus up here. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Here's another Australian colloquialism. Actually, Bill's getting all these because let's ask Bill what he thinks they mean. Okay. What do you think this means, Bill? I'm flat out like a lizard drinking. I'm flat out like a lizard drinking.
I would think that means you're just totally exhausted.
Not
yeah,
too bad. Not too bad.
close.
What do you think it means, Anthony? How do you interpret that? I'm flat out like a lizard drinking.
It means that you are so busy.
You're
So,
busy.
because if you,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it means.
But like, do lizards actually drink? Do lizards drink?
Yes.
I don't think
Haven't
they
you
drink.
ever seen a lizard drink? Like their tongue just goes continually. That's why it says flat out like a lizard
That's why
drinking.
they're
Oh,
busy, are
that
they?
makes sense. Yeah, about being busy. Okay.
I've never actually seen a lizard drink. What about if someone says to you, Bill, if someone says to you, you come to Australia and you're in a CrossFit box and you're training, and they come up to you and say, "Oh, Bill, you're such a bogan. You're such a bogan."
I don't know. That could
What
mean
is
a
that?
lot of things.
You haven't heard that term?
No, I haven't heard that term. If I had to
There
guess,
is an American equivalent. I'll give you that. I'll give you a hint. There is an American equivalent.
I don't know. It feels like you're such a jokester. Like you're. That's what I would think.
No.
So I'm
Do
not.
you think it could mean? Do you think it could mean you're? Do you think it could mean you're really snooty or upper class? Or what about if you're
Yeah.
really
Okay.
snooty?
Is that what it means?
That's the
No,
opposite.
no.
It's the very
It means
opposite.
you're like, yeah, it means you're really unsophisticated or uncultured.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So
Yeah,
we have a lot of bogans in Australia.
that's funny. Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. I can see how that would fit.
I think the American
Yeah.
equivalent would be like a redneck kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
could be.
redneck,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
redneck.
Yeah.
That would be the
redneck. That's
equivalent of
funny.
bogan. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Chakasiki?
Ooh, I don't even know what you just said. Say that one more time.
Chakasiki.
Okay. Did you ever
Chakasiki.
chuck
Okay.
a sickie? Have you ever chucked a sickie?
I don't know what that is. I'd be totally guessing out of left field on that one.
I would say Bill has
So-
never chucked a sickie, given his
Yeah, so
incredible work ethic.
Just say you went to a party. Just say you went to a party,
Okay,
and
I'm getting the drift now.
and you didn't drink alcohol, but it was a really late night, and you're just having a good time. You got home late, and you've got the 5 a.m. coaching session the following morning, and you ring your aunt, and you say, oh, I'm just not feeling well. I got a headache. I can't come in to train to coach this morning. You would be chucking a sickie.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that
you
makes sense.
you're basically ringing the boss and making up BS to explain why you can't come to work.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that
Never heard that before.
we call that chucking a sickie.
You
Yeah,
see,
you got a lot of
Australians,
sayings.
you just take the word and you put E on the end of it, and that
Yeah.
kind of put a Y on the end of it. That's normally an Australian kind of process. So
That's
chuck
funny.
to have, right?
Yeah.
And then sickie, right? Because we don't say sick day. We say we get rid of the whole concept of day and then just go
Yeah.
sickie. So
Dang.
'cause
Yeah.
that's what we do. So just if you hear the words, just think, oh, what could that mean? And then
Yeah.
forget about all the other endings, and then you probably work out what it
Yeah.
is.
That's funny.
Okay, what about this one? What does this mean, Bill? You charge like a wounded bull.
I mean, immediately I would think that you're kind of just uncontrolled and like running rampant, but I don't think that's right.
It just
Kind
means
of,
that
it's on the way. It's on the way. It's on the way. But
I
just
don't have
means
an
you're- it just-
alternative.
it just means that you're really expensive. Okay, so like just say you're programming. If someone said,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, Bill charges like a wounded bull," that means you're charging a lot of money for your
Yeah.
programming. You charge like a wounded bull.
That's funny. Yeah. You definitely have to know some of these sayings.
So
Yeah.
I want to see. So here's a challenge, Bill. Some of these ones that you've heard, you've got to we follow you on Instagram. We want to hear some of those. Some
Yeah,
of
I'm
those
just gonna say
sayings.
one of them one day, and y'all will get it, and everybody else will be like, "What is he talking about?"
Yeah, I want to hear you say "you ripper" when you win an event on the and you get the microphone from
Uh-huh.
Kiki or whatever her name is, and
Yeah.
they're doing the interview. I want you to say "you little ripper."
That's funny.
Shout out to
Some
shout
people
out to John.
majority are gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" And
What are
then
you talking about? Did he rip
and
his Achilles or something again?
yeah, and then Jay and Ricky will be all happy and be like, "Dang, look at
Oh,
me!"
they'll know. They'll know. Yeah.
They'll
Have
know.
you seen the Aussies? Have you seen the Aussies drink the alcohol out of the boot?
Yeah,
Out of the
I've
shoe?
seen that.
The
I have,
shoey?
yeah.
That's an Australian madness.
Tia
That is
did that.
disgusting.
Dave.
That is
Tia did that at
disgusting.
the games. Remember?
Yeah, I'll leave that to you Australians. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing all that.
Yeah, I'm not. That we don't all do that, Bill. That's just a ridiculous thing. I don't know why you would want to put alcohol
Tia
in
did that.
a sweaty shoe and then drink it. That just sounds terrible.
Nasty. But you must come out to the Torian Pro, Bill. Oh God,
That seems like it's a great competition.
It is.
I feel like I always see highlights of it. It's super electric. Crowd looks super into it.
It's nuts. And I think
come
it's
to it, Bill.
We don't have many big events. Like the States will have big events all over the place. So we get treated to this one event. And everyone from Australia comes to Brisbane, our hometown, which is the Torian Pro is just like 10 minutes down the road from my house.
Oh, dang, that's pretty cool.
And it is seriously one of the best semi-finals comparing to what I can see on TV. But also, like, I've been to the games. I've been to Madison 2 times, and like the vibe at the Torian Pro feels like the games. It's so cool.
No, it looks pretty like cool when I see some people winning events and like the fireworks going off, and it looks pretty electric for sure.
It's great.
Yeah, it is. It is
All
an
right.
awesome thing. So,
Well,
if the CrossFit Games ever need to move internationally, I think the Torian would be gladly accept them. Gladly accept them.
Do you know where the games are next year? Next year.
I don't, but rumors are. Let me think of this right. Yeah, I believe this will be the 20th year of the games. I'm pretty sure, and rumors are that they're going to try to go back to California because of that. So that's what the rumors are. I don't know anything outside of that actually.
To Carson. Have you been there, Bill? Have you been to Carson?
Yeah, actually, those were I tore my Achilles. The West Coast Classic was at the StubHub Center, which was
that's where the West Coast. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been there.
Amazing.
I don't know if they're trying to go back to Carson or just somewhere in California. I don't know because I think that
Okay.
2016 they took them to the ranch because that was a 10-year anniversary. So this would be 2026 20-year anniversary. I would assume Dave's going to try to want to bring them back to some like sort of either the ranch or StubHub Center or stuff like that. So, but I mean, there's a lot of they have to deal with permits and facilities and all that and getting contracts. So there's definitely a lot they got to get through. But that's rumors of what I've heard.
Yeah.
So what's the goal for the next CrossFit Games? Top 10, top 5?
I contrary to last year, I'm just really excited that this year I'm actually able to like work on things. So, like last year was like literally just rehab the entire year and then just like what you have, try to make it. So I'm really excited and I've already put a lot of work in that I've been able to actually work on things that I'm bad at. But next year for the CrossFit Games, I think, I mean, if you want to put a placing number on it, I would say I would like to probably be around top 12, I would say. Somewhere around there. That would be like that would be cool if I could do that. If I would have put a place value on it.
And I remember I have one last question for you. Like Dave probably has some more, but I have one last question for you. I was listening to a thing about you, and you don't use much accessories. Like you don't use too many grips. You don't use like Tell us about that, because that is the opposite of what we do in CrossFit, right? We get all the gear, we want to do all that. So I reckon this is really pretty important because you don't need all the gear, obviously.
My philosophy behind it kind of thing was like when I first started, it was like I'm not going to throw a belt on until like my squat gets to a point to where I need it. For like, because like a lot of people can go their whole lives and like not need a belt sort of thing. But when you're trying to squat like 450 pounds or more, you probably should wear a belt. You probably should put knee sleeves on. You probably should put lifters on. You're doing enough pull-ups now that your hands need grips, or they just like physically won't be able to sustain the volume, things like that. And so like I kind of have like worked my way into certain things, and in time I like didn't grab the accessories until they were needed. So it was just kind of a philosophy I took, and to this day there's still some things that I don't use that a lot of people do use, but I'm coming to a point now that I'm dipping into all of that sort of stuff.
Well, you need the sponsors, right? Because that's where the sponsors going to come from.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. But like, I haven't worn a pair of knee sleeves ever, actually. So I plan to put them on at some point this year and integrate them into my training and use them because I know they are beneficial, and like I'm at a point that I need that. So there's things like that, like physical accessories. And then there's some like supplements and stuff that I just hadn't taken before that I'm starting to take now. So
do you have a grip sponsor?
We can put you in touch with this guy. Have you heard of Redbacks?
I haven't.
These are fantastic grips. So these are the Redbacks are our sponsor.
Okay.
And he makes. Do you like those sort of tacky grips?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. I'll get Matt to touch base with you, but they're pretty cool grips.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd be open to that.
Yeah, and Adidas don't make grips, do they? Right? They just shoes and apparel.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a competitor. That'd be totally fine.
Yeah. Well, look, I think Bill, I wish you all the best in your career, and I think if you look at athletes, what makes the difference between them? You all train incredibly hard from the physical side of things, but I think the difference which makes great athletes and really, really, really good athletes is the mindset. And just talking to you for the last hour and a bit, or nearly 2 hours, it's absolutely clear that you've got the mindset of a champion. So, it's the potential is there for you to achieve great things, and I really wish you all the best in
Thank
the
you.
future.
No, thank you all
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
me, and it's been a great conversation.
It's been
Yep.
awesome, absolutely
And
brilliant.
put us on your socials. We'll share the
Yeah,
we'll
tag
share
me.
the link to the podcast and everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so
that sounds
very
good.
Cool.
awesome.
We'll hit you up to get Hiller on the show and Dave Hippensteel later on.
Yeah, I'll need to.
Yeah, you're a champion. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
Take care, Bill.
Right, bye.
See you later, mate. Cheers.
See you later.
Woo, Bill Leahy. How cool is that fellow?
What a guy. What a guy. What an awesome guy.
Oh my
So
God, that was so much fun.
yeah, what a
every
he, just such a
even getting up
passionate guy
early.
about CrossFit, right? Just like
He's so young. I actually forgot to ask him how old he was, but
he's
we can
24.
find that out. 24. He's
Mm.
like an old soul.
It might even
Mentally,
be.
like,
He might even
and
be. He might even be younger. Actually,
younger.
might be 23. So, but yeah, he's phenomenal. Like,
His discipline.
yeah, and
It's almost
just
like
can talk
in his
about a whole wide of topics. Just
alcohol, training, just desire, and surrounding himself with people. It's just the textbook of how to become amazing.
great.
And it's almost like you need to get him and just take him around to the primary schools and the junior schools and just have a little lecture with the school kids.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a coaching career, isn't he? Like he's
really,
like once he finishes CrossFit, he's going to have a coaching career. Because I was just like I was inspired by what I was hearing from him.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
his whole process, the way he goes about everything. He's
yeah,
open to so many things. Like
yep,
just
yep.
yeah,
And
very
like
good.
you know me and alcohol, like I hardly ever touch alcohol, but he's topped my effort. Like I probably have an alcoholic drink once a year or something. But he's never had a sip of alcohol. That's crazy.
I know. In this
Not
day
many,
and age, absolutely.
there are not many people that can claim that. Not many people that can claim that.
No, he was very impressive. Impressive young guy. Look forward to seeing
Yeah.
him do well. He's definitely one of my favourites now. So after speaking to him.
Well, this is the beauty of the podcast. And sometimes you think, oh gosh, do I need to do this podcast? And we've got to get up early for people who are across the other side of the world. But geez, that was worth it. That was so worth having him. Good on you for bringing him on the show. In 2 weeks' time, I think we're going to talk to Bronson.
Yeah. So
he's a CrossFitter.
look forward to that. Look forward to that.
I think he's a
going to
medical
give
doctor.
us.
Or
He's
he
got the
might not be a
nutrition
medical
piece,
doctor.
right?
He's
This
got
is
the
all about
nutrition
the
piece.
nutrition. Yeah.
And we'll talk about his research. But we got some other interesting, and it dawned on me when we were talking tonight. Let's get Dave Hippensteel on. And,
yes. Well, I think
you
know, every time you talk to one of these people, they open more connections to other people, right?
more doors.
So that's the exciting thing.
And maybe Andrew Hiller, if Andrew's watching, Andrew, come on the show. Let's have a yarn, 2-hour yarn.
But even that conversation, right? Just the fact that like so many people get destroyed by Hiller and they don't want to have anything to do with him,
and yet constructive feedback.
And yet, you know, Bill just took it and ran with it, and now. I'm pretty sure Hiller's going to be his coach by the sound of things. That's the call.
I think a lot of people will be contacting Bill to be his coach.
Oh, 100%.
Like maybe what about that guy from Las Vegas?
Seth.
No, the one the Underdogs. He used to coach Ricky and the girl.
Yeah. Coach the girls
guy,
as well. Danielle,
the guy
Brandon,
who used to coach Danielle, Brandon, and the girl with the frizzy hair who was in the car accident.
Yes. What's her name? Oh my God! It's just because it's early. All right, Dave. I have to go and do work. You've got a
work day.
Obviously.
You've got a work day.
Yeah, I've got a work day. You're on holidays. I'm on a work.
I've got to go down to the farm. I'm going to be site supervisor of a 12-ton bulldozer doing some earth moving. That's going to be fun.
Look forward to seeing the videos of the earth mover, Dave.
Okay, have a great day. Talk to you
And
next time.
move some weight tonight. All right.
Oh, and we're
Gotta
going.
hit
We're
200.
doing a. Yep.
1 RM.
Excellent.
1 RM deadlift.
1 RM.
Let's bring it.
Part B and part C didn't look like they were too taxing, so that'll be all the energy goes into the
lots of
part A.
testing this week. Lots of a 3 RM strict press tomorrow as well. So.
All right.
So,
Take care.
all right.
Bye.
See you, mate.